We are live. We are now for sure live. So
Yeah,
alive and well and live on the podcast. So yeah,
indeed.
who knows?
Indeed.
You know, hopefully we didn't keep people waiting for too long. Because I chat. I see the chat, so just so you
It's
know.
all right, boy. It's
Yep.
all right.
So what you been up to? How's it been going?
Good. I can't really complain much. Same old, same old. You know.
Mm, likewise. So good, good.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up everyone in the chat? Hope you're most of you are still here. And it should be pretty good today as far as what we'll be talking about. Uh Jimpachi as the co-host. The co-host with the most. You know the topics, right?
Of course I do.
All right. You want to let people know just in case,
I'll let you
whoever.
do it. Show them
Okay.
that you know. I
All right.
want you to show them that you know what it is. Honestly.
Right. I got to lead by example, right?
Yeah. Exactly. There you go. You
Right.
got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lead by example.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're right. Okay. So there may be another Saints Row reboot, or I guess maybe a sequel to 4 within that I guess universe or that timeline, whatever you want to call it. So who knows, but we'll get into that because a former, I forgot what the fuck he was, a writer or something. I'm pretty sure he's a writer because he was approached by Embracer to pitch an idea for a new Saints Row. So I'm assuming he's a writer. Anyway, so I think he was on Saints Row. Why is it two of you? Can you hear me? I don't know. I don't know, but if you can hear me, it is you're all right. Well, he's going. Oh, wait on.
Can you hear me?
Something happened.
Yeah. Well, no. I
Yeah.
was here the whole time. It's just that I have it in a smaller window. So I guess it must have like
Oh,
it
okay.
counted as me getting off of it or something. I basically have it in a small
Okay.
window
Okay.
while I have my browser open, and I guess it just didn't register.
Okay. No problem. All right. So, yeah. So he was like involved with Saints Row 1. I don't remember if he was
Yeah.
involved with 2, but if anyone has that information, you can give it to me because I don't have any links to anything to read off of or whatever. I'm just going based off of memory of what I've read and some videos I've seen about it. As far
Hmm.
as like, of course, with the other topics as well. So Square Enix, hold on, let me get to the mic. Square Enix had fired or were laid off, same shit, a bunch of people in their U.S. departments and also within Europe as well, from what I heard.
Hmm.
So they're getting rid of a lot of people, obviously in the U.S. branch of things. So they may be, I don't know, clearing house to focus more on like a Japanese oriented development of sorts, like how they used to do, which they should never have, went away from. But that's kind of like wishful thinking. So who knows, like the reason why exactly.
Yeah. Who
I remember
knows?
we actually talked about before where I forgot who the fuck it was, someone there where they had said that they developed with a global audience in mind. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Well, when you develop with a global audience in mind, like you literally, like even if all right, let's say you take out wokeness as a whole. Let's just say you take out like politics out of it. You literally just can't appeal to everybody. You literally
Yeah.
just can't appeal to a global audience no matter what it is. So there's no point in even trying. Like I mentioned before that Resident Evil, the classic ones rather, right? The originals, they're not really I would argue those games are not made for everybody, but they were so
No.
popular that they became mainstream. So if you make something good, it'll be a global hit regardless, right? There are people from like
Yeah.
all kinds of cultures that are completely incompatible with the US or Japan, and they like those games. So the whole global audience wider market shit is completely dumb in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Even if you're taking the woke aspect out of it. So you know making like doing what they're doing. It's like all they have to do is focus on making good games. That's it.
Yeah, just make good games for your audience that are that were there when you needed them, really, to get a lot of these like games and off the ground to actually make you the success that you are, instead of trying to go for a different crowd that really at the end of the day is not really gonna they're not really gonna care. Like if people didn't care about Final Fantasy, years ago, they're not really going to now. And if they do now, it's only going to be because they implemented something into the game, and then if the next game doesn't have it, then the people, those group of people, they're not going to be there for the next one. So,
Exactly. Pretty much. They're not going to be there. Like you could look, look at God of War. You ever see how a lot of the new fans, I was going to say another word, but the modern
yeah.
fans of God of War, they say that the original Kratos had no depth, that he was a
Hmm.
shallow character, and you could tell they never played those games or like played them at an age where they were younger or maybe like never really like whatever, like didn't experience them, and like because but they'll say that because they're like dick sucking the newer God of Wars as if they're these like deep, emotionally resonant games. When I would argue the original Kratos was a much more complicated character, and I would argue his motivations were even stronger. Like, there's that like meme of like the games of the past where like had no depth or whatever. I know
Hmm.
somebody in your video commented about that, and I think it's fucking stupid. It's a lie. It's like
I mean,
a
community
lie
post.
community post or something. Yeah, it's a lie. It's not true, and I don't believe that. I mean, games now have sure, all right, for sure. Games now have like more are more story driven in general, but I would argue that they're not necessarily much deeper, right?
No, they're not.
Like they're like none of like I mean, a lot of this shit that these games explore now were explored in Metal Gear Solid One and shit like
Hmm.
that. Like it's not
Yeah,
new.
a lot of these people, like, whether if like it's due to like them being younger, you know, like in their teens or in their early 20s or whatever. Like they like no offense to them, a lot of them don't really know any better because they weren't there. They didn't experience it.
Exactly.
So they don't really know. Like and people can't control when they're born. So but at the same time, you gotta also understand that games back then you had characters that were pretty like, you know, well developed, they had a lot of growth, and they didn't need to be 30 to 50, 60 hours in order for that to happen. You
You
can
also
play a
didn't have
game like
you also didn't have to walk slowly to
yeah,
fucking
exactly.
to
Yeah.
understand, like because again, like even if you take the PS1 era out of it, which I think would be dumb anyway, because you have like just JRPGs alone from that era have
Mhm.
a ton of depth to them. Just those
Yep,
alone. Even
they do.
before that, even the Super Nintendo era had like some RPGs that were like pretty deep. But
Yeah.
let's say you take the PS1 era out of it, you can't like honestly tell me with a straight face like all these PS2 games were like shallow games, like as if like Shadow of the Colossus didn't exist, as if
Mhm.
like I said God of War didn't exist, as various other games you can mention. It's like you said, they're just from a newer generation, and I
Mhm.
think that the worst thing about the newer generations is that they're like pretty much meme slaves, right? Like whatever the
Mhm.
meme is, they just fucking they perform, they have performative slavery to it, right?
Yeah, like
Like
the Chris in Resident Evil 5 with the boulder.
yeah, it's like all right,
You
yeah.
know,
Chris Falcon punched a fucking boulder
that's
and it flew out.
that's all they know about him.
It flew out of the volcano like a fucking like Super Smash Bros character, and then but like and Leon, and then Resident Evil 4 was this horrific, scary game with so much fear and such depth and shadows and all this shit. Meanwhile, Leon's fucking dodging lasers and having an anime fight with with Krauser.
Mhm.
Like again, but whatever. Like I like both those games, but for the most part. But the point is that people are just fucking meme slaves now. Like they get told what to do, they get told what the truth they should believe in
Mhm.
via fucking memes, and it just slaves to them. Like I actually
Yeah.
feel bad for this fucking generation.
Yeah, I do too. That's one reason why I speak out so much about it, cuz like, you see what's happening. It's like and it's obviously has gotten worse over time. You know. So whenever people, they'll be like, oh, well, you're a grifter. You started doing these videos when it got popular or whatever. It's like, no, because I saw what was happening and I was passionate enough to, talk about it. Like many people, Eventually you see enough of something, and it's like, all right, well, fuck it, I'm gonna say something about it. I think
Yeah.
I'll throw my hat into there, or my name in the hat rather, and see how that goes. And people got to be
Well,
more
also
vocal
you have
about it.
like the whole thing
People
of
shouldn't.
like,
No, I was gonna
well,
say people shouldn't
good.
like feel like insecure, afraid, or that like worry about being like dogpiled by the modern audience, or the shills and people on social media, with the check marks, or whatever type of following they may have. Like, just like, say what you got to say, believe in what you say, stand your ground, and don't let anyone try to persuade you or try to gaslight you into thinking that, what we've been getting, the shit we've been served for years now is the greatest it's ever been. It's peak. It's amazing. And that what we had before, pales in comparison.
Yeah.
When before, to use the same, adage of, oh, they cook and whatever. Before, we were actually eating good. Now it's like we're basically starving out here, especially more so people who actually have like standards and stays away from the woke shit.
Well, it is a psyop, bro. It's like a fucking psyop. It's just like do what it's pretty much always boils down to do what we say to show loyalty to us no matter what. Or else you're ostracized. Like that's pretty much all it comes down to because like again, with all these modern games and shit, like think about it, right? Like you play these modern games, right? And like what they try to do is normalize shit so that the alternative becomes unacceptable. It becomes like publicly unacceptable and considered like wrong, right? Like it's like you look at how like how people the fact that people say shit from like the mid 2000s like culturally is dated. Like what I mean by dated is like, oh, if you have a hot woman in a fucking game just for the sake of her being hot. It's this dated fucking thing. It's like, bro, that wasn't that long ago. We're not talking like 1930s
Yeah, right.
mentality to fucking now, bro. Like that's complete psyop bullshit. Like
Hmm.
the like, oh, if your character's not a fucking ugly hag with broad shoulders, then she's a fucking shallow sex object and shit like
Yeah.
that. Like
What
it's
the
so fucking
donors?
dumb. Yeah, it's dumb. It's like Xeno Chimera said. He said that it's a fucking the memes are a psyop. That's what they are. They're a fucking
Yeah.
psyop, bro.
It's
Like
just
you're
condition
just
people to think a certain way.
you become a slave to whatever they want you to believe, bro. Like if they tell you the sad thing is that most people, the most annoying people you'll see in like a comment section going fucking crazy defending this shit isn't even a person who has malicious intent half the time. They're just fucking like completely indoctrinated.
Yeah, they just
You
know.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they're
Like
like so far gone. It's like
like
engraved
they
in their brain, where it's like, no, I don't
yeah.
like. Doesn't matter what you tell them, what you show them, and like none of that matters, because the only thing, because they've been so conditioned for so long, and they're so like naive to everything, that they're gonna believe what they've been told to believe, no matter what. Like, there's like no convincing them otherwise. And it's not even so much like, oh, you have to be on our side or whatever. It's that it's like this the shit that we explain is common sense, and it's
Pretty
factual
much.
too, and it's also backed up with evidence of what's been done before and what people actually liked before. You have so many
Well,
people now where
yeah.
they're being very submissive to what's happening, to what we're
Unfortunately,
yeah.
unfortunately, the lemming condition is mostly unfixable. You're right, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's
Well,
like
like, yeah, yeah.
people
I
are
get what you're
just like
saying.
willing to like accept anything and just like pretend like shit from the past has never existed. When there's and it's crazy because you hear it from a lot of people, and it's like they're like in their fucking in their 30s, their 40s, 50s, whatever it may
They're
be.
the
Like
worst.
they're the worst because like they're the
They know
ones who
better.
should know better. Yeah.
And the other thing too is like you got to remember that newer generations, like I hate to say it, like because I mean it, like I even mean it with like a level of respect, even because it's not malicious that I say it in this way, but people that are like younger, like when you think about when you were 17, right, or 16 or 15, like you don't know fucking shit about anything. Like
Yeah.
things that you're so young that your mind is completely impressionable and you're like, you don't really know how the world works. You don't understand fucking most kids that age don't understand like you know, how economies work and how
Mm-hmm.
societies functions and shit like that. So like these people that are like playing a fucking Metal Gear Rising, like I'll give you an example. You'll see like a kid, an 18-year-old do a YouTube fucking essay about how Metal Gear Rising's a fucking underrated gem, and it's only an underrated unknown gem to him because he played it for the first time in 2025. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they're I don't know how to explain it. Like, everything is fucking new to them. They're just exposed to it. Like for example, with the woke shit. Like, they didn't know about woke till 2022. So apparently, to them, in their perspective, wokeness. People talking about wokeness ramped up in 2022, right? Like, they don't know because they weren't
Yeah.
there. Like, they don't have the. They don't have. I even said it in another thing that before that. You don't that if you don't, you're always looking at shit through your worldview, through your experiences, and
Right.
people don't know what they fucking don't know. Like, so just because to somebody, like, especially these, and that ties back to these kids, were like, oh well, I don't really care. I like Spider-Man 2. I like playing with Miles. They're from a generation that grew up with Miles existing before the obvious creation of the character around the Obama
Mm-hmm.
administration. So to
Yep.
them, he's just the Spider-Man sidekick that was always there. But to the people that grew up with the character, they're like, no, bro, he's a fucking literal, uh, like, what do you call it? Virtual signal character. He
Oh,
literally was created to
he's
virtual signal.
the token black character.
Yeah, but also, but not just being, yes, a token black character, but also he's just there to, like, in general, to virtual signal. He's a fucking
Yeah.
terrible character. He's a he's literally a terrible character, but people
Yeah.
are conditioned to accept his existence. That's what all this woke shit's
He
about.
was never there for good, for genuine intentions. It was always for really for like political reasons,
Yeah, exactly. So to me,
and even more
yeah.
so now.
So that's
And
all I was trying to get at with that. That, like,
yeah,
we're in a world now. And again, everyone can like what they fucking like. I'm not fucking daddy. I can't tell anybody what to do. But the point is that people have to understand that most people now are completely fucking manipulated by meme culture. They are complete slaves to fucking social media. Whatever
yep.
is the consensus, people are going with it. Not even it's like the whole thing, like, oh, Charlie Kirk's racist. Show me how he's racist. Well, he's fucking racist because I didn't like that he was a Republican. That's really what they're saying. Or Donald Trump. Well, how is
Stupid.
Trump racist? How is Trump racist? Give me proof. Well, he did this thing. All right, how is that racist? They can't explain it, bro, because they're fucking meme cows. They're
Mm-hmm.
slaves. They're literally slaves. So it's
Yeah.
crazy. Anyway, rant over. I'll, I'll stop talking. No one has to talk to me anymore, and I just step in the background and fade away.
No, you're right though. It's true. And so oh yeah, we I was gonna also mention, I don't know how we got sidetracked about all this. Yeah, I was like going over the topics. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people already know about topics, but I'll just in case, because some people are like, oh, what are we talking about or whatever. I'm like, it's on the title, but all right, just so people know for sure. Assassin's Creed Shadows fails. It did not sell very well. It actually is the least selling of the recent Assassin's Creed games, starting with Origins. So it didn't sell better than Origins than the ones that came after that. Not much of a surprise. And yeah, it had the biggest budget. I don't know if of the entire series, but at least of those games. Basically, I'll put it like this: uh, going from when they started being, bootleg RPGs with Origins onward. So it didn't do well. Go figure.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
oh,
mean, Assassin's Creed Shadow.
boycotts don't work, Chud.
Well, Assassin's Creed Shadows was the drizzling shits. We knew it would be.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
no one had to play the game to figure that out.
yeah. Well, the whole, like, boycotts don't work is just to dissuade you, bro. Because what is
Yeah,
saying boycotts don't work really mean? What are they really saying? What they're really telling you is buy the new product because what you want doesn't matter. So just buy the new product that you're not interested in, so that you can be part of the new thing. And also, So you can, so you basically that, so you could be part of the new thing. They're basically telling you to just fucking buy the new thing, shut up. What you do doesn't matter. What you say doesn't matter. Just accept it, because they know that the more you accept it, the more becomes normalized.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they're trying to do. Like they're pretty much telling you that, like, oh, you don't like,
Be consumer pigs like the rest of us.
yeah, be a slop, enjoy slop like the rest of us. Look, it has good graphics. Just enjoy the good graphics. Shut up. All right,
There's still more of this corporate boot you can chew on.
Yeah. You haven't even eaten. You haven't even touched your boot yet.
Yeah.
You haven't even touched the fucking boot yet. Like, just chug it down, bro. Like, bro, come on, it's bloody. It's bloody and has good graphics. Play the anti male game that hates you. Play it, bro. It has bro the graphics though. Bro, look at the realistic There's blood. Look, you can blow his head off. Go ahead.
Yep.
Accept the preaching.
Yeah.
That's
you don't want to be preached to, bigot, is because it's talking about you, bigot. You not getting the game says more about you than it does about anyone else.
Pretty much any modern Ubisoft game for the most part,
yes,
but
pretty much.
So that's it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and the last thing, Outer Worlds 2 flopping because
Hold on, let me just say something real quick. I agree with Retro Man. A competitor is the peak of a boycott. That's true. If you have a competitor that gives you what you want, that's always the best boycott.
Yep, I agree. Well, I agree as well. Outer Worlds 2 not doing too well. Another thing. Go figure. You gotta fucking hateful developers that making games where you can see the hatred within the characters. I mean, that shit looks. You've seen the characters in that game, right?
Yes.
It looks fucking atrocious. Damn.
Oh my god.
And those are the party members.
Imagine NPCs, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's bad. It's
Man,
really bad.
bro, like, remember Outer Worlds 2? Outer Worlds, I remember I saw you playing it one time, and I looked at the characters. I'm like, and you remember what I said? Like, why all these fucking bitches look like bald lesbians or something like that? Like,
yeah, I was like, I don't know,
bro. Every time I would,
it was true though. I was just saying, like, I don't know.
Every time I would glance at the screen, there would be like a bald fucking like butch ass woman on screen.
Yeah, either bald or have short hair.
Or have short hair or something. I was like, what? Why?
Yeah.
What? What is going on? I mean, to be fair, like, I'm sure you didn't know it had that shit in there when you bought it, but
I didn't.
So, but that was crazy, man.
Positives I can say about that game is I liked how the world looked, as far as like the environments, whatever. It was cool, and I liked the combat. Other than that, yes, the character designs and all that. Story wasn't really. I mean,
I feel that it's like I too also like Fallout. That's how I feel with that game.
Yeah.
Like, I also enjoy playing Fallout again, but in space.
Again, yeah, pretty much.
Like, but yeah, it's crazy.
Fallout in space with Starfield, and it was, of course, what it was. We already know about that.
But you know what's funny? I was going to mention, because it reminds me of Ghost of Yotei with the Yasuke stuff from before. Like
Kamala Harris characters. Like,
if you're playing the game, I mean, like, if these shows are defending the game saying, "Oh, it was number 4 or whatever," and I'm like, bro, it got defeated by yearly sports games that fucking, like, I won't say they suck automatically. I won't say they suck automatically, because again, there are people that like those sports games, but you can't deny that they're predatory and greedy. Right, and a lot of them are
samey too. I mean, how much they're gonna change in a year? And a lot of people even complain that what the hell? People complain that the fucking what the hell was it?
I'm using my PS5 to charge my phone. That's what the sound was. The beep.
Okay, that's because that kind of like threw me off for a second.
Yeah, sorry.
Continue. But like a lot of people complain about these sports games like fucking NBA 2K. I don't play them, but I know people complain about them being
Fight Island bullshit
and all that. Oh yeah. Fucking WE, they did that.
Yeah, well, the islands in NBA as well. Anyway, continue. I don't want to derail you.
Right. Yeah, so to your point, it's like these yearly sports games that fucking outperform Ghost of Antifa. That lets you know that it ain't doing too well. And then the game
No.
is fucking on sale in certain places.
Like that's what I was trying to get at. That because I am bashing those sports games in a way because I don't give a fuck about them. But like there are people that like them, but they are greedy, predatory, yearly shit. You know what I mean? To be fair, I think even if you like those games, you have to concede that because that's a fact. And like
Yep.
to be a AAA title with that much marketing behind it, and to lose be in fourth place or fifth place or something followed by those games is pathetic, especially when Borderlands 4 is considered a flop. So they'll keep talking about how it's
That's
number
true.
4 in sales or whatever, number 5, but they won't give you the actual numbers of how much money it made versus its budget, because
Sony
even if
can't
you
even give the numbers out yet. People saying, "Oh, we gotta wait till fucking January and shit." It's like if it
exactly
did so well, all this fucking glazing for this game, all this shilling for this game, where's the sales at? Where are the numbers at? Why can't
exactly
why haven't they even mentioned that yet? We're in fucking November. This game came out like early October or some shit.
and also think about it, bro. Like if your game, look, all right, let me put it this way. If let's say I spend $100 to make like lemonade, to open a lemonade stand, and I make $110 back after spending the money I made to make the lemonade stand, the amount of work and money that I actually got in return, $10, is not like a win, because technically I made past my budget, but the fucking game, I mean it was pretty much a failure. Like
Yeah.
it pretty much. So I feel like with a lot of these games, like, yeah, you could say, oh, it sold more than it spent, but bro, this is a $300 million game that took you a full year to develop, and you only made a quarter of that back after you made the game's profit and a little bit more. That's not really a win. That's a pretty bad situation.
Yeah. There was also articles too where Sony just like stopped advertising for the game too, which is also weird. And you had I was gonna say Insomniac. I'm getting confused with these fucking bitch ass developers. Sucker Punch did an interview with fucking what they call Game Informer, and talk about DLC or whatever. Well, if people really wanted whatever, I mean, if this game did very well, you would assume, or if they like were very like sure of themselves, wouldn't they have something already planned? I mean, they could have the multiplayer coming out, but that was already like being worked on anyway. And you know damn well if the multiplayer would have came out with the game on launch, then most people probably would have avoided the fucking story, because I'm telling you right now, people don't really want to play as that character. People even said they put a mask on her the whole game.
Well, people, turns out people want to
That
play
was
the character they like in the sequel, not the fucking replacement, right? Like,
Yep.
for example,
Yep.
I don't think that, like, I mean, obviously Miles is going to replace Peter in the third Spider-Man game, right? Like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
most people that like Spider-Man
Mary Jane.
like Peter Parker. They don't want to play as Mary Jane. I would argue a lot of people don't even want to play as Miles.
No.
So
But
it's
since he
kind
has
of
a suit
funny.
on, and they're like, well, it's kind of like Spider-Man, so I'll just take it. Why not?
Yeah, like I just
That's
feel
how it
like
is.
no,
Go
well,
Silte. Oh, it's like it's part of
yeah,
that. It's similar to Tsushima. And I'll just put a mask on her the whole time, and I can still cut off limbs and take pretty pictures and gallop with my horse for about an hour until I reach an enemy or an outpost for the 50th time, and then I can see my long drawn out shitty cutscene with my revenge story. So yeah, that's
I
what
don't
people
think
just
I don't
that's what
even think.
they turn off their brain, so they just accept whatever it is they get. They just convince themselves, "Whoa, it's good and I like it because well, I can kill
Yeah,
enemies, there's blood, graphics, I can take pictures,
pretty
I can
much.
stand on top of a hill and just look at it in amazement, that I can post it on social media about how amazing the game is. Well, that's all I have to show for it." And then I can fucking pelt fucking fire bombs at a bear that's fucking standing stationary in the fucking pitch black void at night where you can barely see shit. You know,
Pretty
and
much.
that's that audience. That's where we're at. This is what these people are telling us are great. These are these game of the year contenders. That and fucking Death Stranding 2, a fucking Kingdom Come DEI Deliverance 2. where all of a
Okay, no
sudden you
comment.
got a black Muslim there, despite what Vavra said, that fucking sellout. And then you got the fucking gay romance. That's not hard to get. That's not hard to obtain, despite
Piece of
what we're
fucking
portraying
stool.
other people.
Piece of
Uh,
stool.
you got fucking originally two canonically straight characters. Now all of a sudden it can be fucking gay and have a gay romance because God forbid two men are just friends, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the games that people want to tell you that, oh, it's game of the year, oh, we eating good, oh, I can't, you missed out, yeah, that's sad if you missed out because of woke, for whatever reason, because you're playing as a female or because it was an optional gay romance or whatever, all that shit. But then when there's optional shit like mods or whatnot, then that has to be banned, right?
Yeah.
When it's
It's kind of
optional
weird.
stuff that they don't like, then they want it gone. But then when it's optional stuff that we don't like, oh, I can't believe you have a problem with this, whatever. Then it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, you got to
Really.
remember that at the end of the day, bro, like the idea that someone's telling you you're missing out on something just because they're a woman shows you, like, I mean, if they're already being disingenuous like that to begin with, it kind of shows you what's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. You're fucking playing a video game to have fun. You're playing a video game to be immersed in a world, and they're gonna
That's
sit
what I
there
thought.
and they're gonna sit there and try to gaslight you and say like, oh, it's just because it's a woman. They'll tell people like that. The worst part about it is that they'll tell people that aren't in the know, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the activists like that aren't really like even gamers, and I don't mean like the ones that talk about games directly. I mean the adjacent activists, right? The adjacent activists
Yeah.
uh like the liberals, that like the liberal women who don't give a shit about games. They never play them. They don't even talk about them themselves. They talk about other liberal shit, but
Mm-hmm.
they know about it vaguely from other liberals, right? And they just propagate the
Yeah.
idea like, oh, they don't. They, a lot of look at take this game for example. Ghost of Yote. A lot of people don't like it just because of it having a woman or whatever. Like completely misrepresenting the real problem people have, because to these people, propaganda doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Everything is done in good faith.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is done at face value, and they fail to realize that it's not about the identities themselves. Usually, right? It's
When it
about
when it's from their side.
it's about what it represents that people have a problem with. Like, for example, people love female characters as their main characters in games. A lot of people love them, right? A lot of people have no problem with black characters or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But the problem is that the way they're implemented and what they represent. But of course, the people that are disingenuous, that are trying to like gaslight you, they're gonna frame it as, well, you don't. They try to
Mm-hmm.
guilt you, right? Like, you don't like this because they're black. You don't like this. You just want a white guy there, and it's like, no, bro. I don't
Yeah.
care if
They
he's white
purposely
or black.
misinterpret what people are saying.
I don't care if it's white or black. I just don't think that it makes sense for me to be preached about racism and fucking sexism in a fucking Spider-Man game. That's my
Yeah. Right.
problem with it, or like, oh, maybe I could play a game with a female character that's not fucking telling. Maybe I could play a God of War game without some woman talking about bow to your fucking queen, talking to Odin. Like, surely that line was not necessary. Surely her talking to Kratos' wife, talking to her like talking to him, saying good boy and shit to him like he's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Surely that's not an agenda at all. Surely Thor being talked down to by his wife and being a general piece of shit. Surely none of that's on purpose. I'm just, you're just a sexist, racist, bigot phobe. There's no
What's her
patterns.
name?
You just
Was
don't
it
like females.
Androbodia? Androboda? What's her name?
Angraboda,
Angra Angraboda?
something like that.
Yeah.
Angraboda.
Yeah. Suddenly she's black
Yeah, it's like,
somehow.
bro, it's the whole fact of is that they're transparent, they're shallow, they're charlatans, they're snakes. They have an agenda. They themselves are fucking racist as hell, like legitimately, not like in the you
Yeah.
don't like what I say kind of way. Like they legitimately think that black women and black people and whatever are below them, which is why they have to come in and save them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
any sensible person that I know that's black, they don't have that victim mentality, right? They don't want to be like talked down to by fucking white daddy and shit like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at things of that nature, and you look at the full scope of what's actually going on, it makes their gaslighting even more egregious. It just makes it
Yeah.
more egregious. It just makes it more like fucking
To
blatantly obvious.
to your point about like the white saviors, like liberals and all that. It's very telling when you see in a comment section somewhere and they're like, oh, he's really well spoken. He's very well spoken.
Yes.
Because
Yes, exactly. I mean,
it's
and then you
like,
have
god
like,
damn.
and then you know what's funny? You know how to we're like speaking about like like let's talk about like the trans people, right? Like, because they're like those same like those liberals that also like are pro like LGBT and trans or whatever, like pro feminism and shit. It's funny how when they disagree with you, the first thing they say is, "Oh, you get no pussy. No bitches fuck you.
Yeah, they always
Uh,
make something
oh,
out about
you
sex or something.
you're just mad because I get more pussy than you." I'm like, all right, so you're preaching all this feminist shit, all this pro women shit, but when you don't like me, you basically objectify women as a fucking commodity
Yep.
to
Even
have the most.
Spear Hunter did it. Troon Hunter says something about
Yeah,
he was like chiming in with Alyssa McConte on a
of
post. It was
course.
something about Grums, I think. And Troon Hunter said like something along the lines like, "Oh, I bet he has a little dick, or he can't even get his dick up, or something, or he doesn't get any, or
Yeah,
whatever." It's always
yeah.
the same
So
talking points from
so
these people. They always go to the same shit because that's what their mind is at. It's fake.
yes,
They think they
and
have the authority to talk about people a certain way because they think they're equal as them when they're not, because
well when
they're not a biological woman, or
well
vice versa. They're not a
also
biological man, so they have no right to talk about men
yeah,
or whatever because they're not that's not their real sex.
yes, and also when it comes to like those people doing it, you had the funniest part about it. All of it is that they think that they have like this that's what happens when you dehumanize your enemies, right? Like with the Charlie Kirk stuff, right? Like they said people were saying what they said because they dehumanized people. They said, oh, if you align with this, that means that if you're aligned with like some of like let's say Republicans, that means that you're a subhuman Nazi and you deserve whatever comes to you. So for example, the same people will and leftists in the same breath will say they'll say something like, if you like it's only white gamer chuds that like this kind of thing, you guys are fucking Nazis, right? You're fucking Nazis. You guys like this shit. You just hate this and that. But then in the same breath, they'll say, well, killing Nazis is good. What's the problem? What's wrong with killing Nazis? Well, the problem is that when you define a Nazi as a person who just has conservative values, that means you're just saying kill conservatives in a
Yep.
fucking in a roundabout way. That's the
It's the
problem with it.
same thing with Antifa. The Antifa does the
Yeah.
same thing. Oh well, and we go against fascists. They call anyone they disagree with
Fascist.
they're fascists. So it's like, well, if you disagree with them, you can commit violence on them. You can do whatever. You can harass them. You can do whatever you want to them because to you they're a fascist. So that means everything you do is
Yes.
justified. And then
Exactly.
that's what you get. That's their behavior, and that's why they're a fucking terrorist organization, and that's why people shouldn't respect them, including Erika Ishii.
Exactly. So that's why when you say like they say, oh, kill all Nazis. Like, all right, whatever. Like, being a Nazi is not a good thing. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of their values, obviously. But when you're calling a conservative Christian who has open debate a Nazi, and then that happens
Right?
to him, that's fucking problematic. Because again,
They
just
don't
because
know
yeah, because
because
what an
the media
actual
didn't show them that, so they
yeah,
don't know.
so they don't know. They didn't actually do research. All these he's racist or whatever. He's this, he's that because of what the media shows, not what he
Yep.
actually the liberal media shows, not what he actually is. So again, like I don't think anybody would like say like they necessarily most normal people aren't going to say they agree with like Nazis and shit like that, like real Nazis. But to say like a conservative Christian or a person who just wants hot women in games is a fucking sexist Nazi, and then you at the same time you're saying to kill all Nazis. It's like, all right, bro, you're saying kill the people that you're basically saying kill anyone I don't agree with,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And as far as the trans stuff, I just want to go back to that for a second because again, like I said, all of a sudden when you're debating with these people, all of a sudden, like I said, pussy is a thing to tally up, right? Like, oh, like, yeah, oh, I get more. You're just mad because I, as a trans person, get more pussy than you. Okay, so pussy's so what you're saying is that you have more of the object. You perceive yourself to have more of an object, in this case, pussy, than I do. So you're objectifying women and then you're being mad at other people because they disagree with you saying they're sexist, misogynist, and shit like that. Like the irony is fucking crazy, bro. Like, it's absolutely crazy. But I wanted to bring that up because that's most of them. I don't think I've ever argued with a trans person that didn't try to say some variation of that, right?
Mhm.
So again, like either you're a liberal feminist and you believe that women are more than their bodies, or you're a fucking person who thinks that that's an object to be quantified and obtained. But you know, either way, you're a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah. Argue with them long enough, and they'll eventually say the tip of the
Yeah.
spiel.
No one is more racist and fucking sexist and fucked up than liberals.
Yep.
Nobody. I don't care what anyone says. I think even the person who's just outwardly racist is not as racist as fucking liberals.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. So I think we went on a little long. Well, a little long enough. It's around 4:08. I
I
should
don't
I send
care.
out the link?
Make them take it. Never make them take it. Make them wait. No, you can send the links now, bro.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Because of course we still want the podcast to be around 3 hours or
Max.
so, max 3 hours max. Um, so we're gonna try. We will rotate the panel, but we're only gonna do it. Here's how we're gonna do it. We'll have 2 additional people, so me, Jim Pachi, and 2 additional people. We'll rotate those 2 other people for another set of 2 people, and then that'll be it. So anyone who, so basically there'll be 4 people, excluding me and Jim Pachi, who will be appearing on the podcast, and we'll see how that goes. If it makes things smoother, then we'll keep doing that.
You meant include people, not exclude. I think you said
Okay.
exclude.
All right. Well, it's been a long week. Include. So So anyone who does, who is whoever waits in the backstage area, who doesn't come on, don't take it personal, and I'll keep note of that.
For the next podcast.
Well, then for the next one, so that way we also freshen it up. So maybe it won't be always the same people for this week or whatever.
It likely won't be. It likely won't be the same people every time. But we have to keep things a little bit more concise, because having like up to like 10 people a time in every episode is pretty hard. To maintain the flow.
Their thoughts about like 2 or 3, or in this case 4 topics. So
yeah,
and
please
also,
please don't take it personally. It's not personal to anybody. We just have to keep things organized for the sake of everybody's time, and hopefully, if you don't come on, you stick around and watch the podcast. I like to think that people watch because they're entertained, not just to come on here and talk. But like I said, if you don't come on today and you're in the backstage, you'll probably be on in the next one. It's all really just to maintain a decent flow to things. So
exactly. So, yep. And also just keep in mind about, other people coming on to talk. So try not to go on too long, because, don't want to have to interrupt you halfway and be like, all right, you got to wrap it up, or you got to try to, reel us into, what you're getting to. So, yeah. So first I'm going to send out
help us pick up what you're putting down,
Yeah, exactly. So I'll send out links on X, and before I send the link to the chat, see how that goes.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Jim Pachi, you can entertain the people with more talking, whatever that may be.
Anybody watching fan of Virtual Fighter? I would love to know if anybody is a fan of it, because I'm a big fan of the game, and this is kind of like a not really on any of the subjects, but I find it ass that they took away Go's throws. I don't know if you guys know about it. Like, he had like these like clinched sidestep throws, and they're completely gone now. Like, they've been completely removed from the game for balancing reasons. I'm like, damn, you're just gonna throw away fucking animations for the sake of game balancing. It's like, can't you just like balance it and keep it in the game? Like, it just fucking sucks, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. I have to rant about that because I don't even know where I would even talk about that subject, but it's bad. Oh, it's bad. MKX is good. I used to play that quite a bit. I actually beat a few pro players in MKX. I think I might have said it in a previous podcast. What character did you use, Zeno? And Virtual Fighter, yeah, Sarah Bryan, that game. Virtual Fighter is a fighting game that's kind of like Tekken, but I guess more grounded and realistic, even though it's not really realistic. But I guess grounded would be the word. Yeah, but I'm rusty. Yeah, they basically go. He had his Kazushi steps where he clinches your collar and an elbow, and he would like sidestep and shit, and then you could do like different like trips from each side. They removed the sidestep variant, so you could only push them forward and backwards. But by doing so, they basically removed animations from the game, and they also nerfed the character in a way. I feel like a nerf is fine, but to outright just remove shit from the game is terrible to me. That's a horrible. That's a horrible situation. Yeah, he was the other real grappler. Exactly, the xenomorph. Yeah, okay, the xenomorph. Yeah, he was pretty savage in that game. The alien, Predator was pretty good. I used to use Kano. I would use Kano and like I was like a Kano specialist. So, but yeah, like I don't know, man. To that's fucking ass, bro. That to me, that's a terrible development decision to remove shit, like remove moves from the game. Like nerf them, but don't remove them. Like what the fuck? Like that's so bad to me. Like I'm harping on it, but it's like really bad. I never played professionally, just casually with family, but the Xeno and Takeda and Scorpion were my top choices. That's pretty cool. I used to I used to play as Kano. I used to also use Predator, and who else? And Sub Zero, yeah, Sub Zero. My thoughts on VF as someone who doesn't like fighting games is that it was technologically ahead of the curve for a while. This is until it lost ground to mechanically superior ones. Yeah, and also the games kind of like they sort of kind of stagnated, and in other games kind of beat them in realism as well. So even in like the pushing the technology, they ended up getting overshadowed in that way as well. Speaking of Predator, have you seen Badlands? I have not seen Badlands, and I do not like how that movie looks, to be honest with you. But the reason why I don't like it is really from a lore perspective, more than anything. I just don't like we saw what a young predator looks like, and that movie is not what that is, bro. We've seen it in the lore, what they're supposed to be like. Predator all of a sudden has a fucking widow's peak instead of like the predator head. Like there's a lot of shit. I guess like for me, like I don't like the changes to the lore and shit that they made with like how the movie like looks and is presented and the Yautja itself. So that's the reason why I'm not really interested. I can't comment whether it's woke or not because I don't fucking know. Honestly, I'm not going to say it is, but that in and of itself kind of turned me off to it. To be fair, it's a flop. I believe it was a flop. I mean, I didn't even like Prey. I think Prey, people might disagree with me, but I thought Prey was woke trash. The fact that people were like not commenting on that was crazy to me. No, I don't know if you guys remember Prey.
What happened?
I hate when fighting is removed moves, but for an update is nuts. Yeah, Young the Doom. Yeah, they literally removed animations because they apparently. So the reason why they removed it is for fighting game fans. It was a 4-way mix-up, right? You had a 4-way throw mix-up, but you had to do mad shit to even clinch them. So you had to like do a combo to clinch them. The animation was slow, or you had to do a parry. So it's not like it was free. And then like, yeah, it was hard to break, but you had to like mess up like 3 or 4 times before you even get into that position. So to me, to remove it outright was pathetic. It just sucked.
You were talking about Prey before?
I was talking about Prey. Now I'm talking about the recent. I'm talking about Virtual Fighter right now though, because I was saying about Go's 4-way grapple throw, his clinch, his judo clinch. Oh yeah, and that's fucking terrible. Yeah. Like to outwardly remove.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
To just remove it, it's like lame. Why not? Like, all right, instead of having it be a 4-way mix-up, just make the left and make forward and left have the same break, and back and right have the same break. So it's no longer a 4-way mix-up, but like to just remove it is fucking ass. I'm harping on it because it's really bad. It's just so bad to me. I'm gonna move on from that. But Prey.
Yeah, I actually played the last one that came out, and yeah, I didn't like it. I took it back.
Well, I mean, Prey.
I got it as a gift, so I just like traded it in, and I just.
Oh no! We're not talking about Prey the game. I was talking about Prey the movie. The Predator movie.
The Predator. Okay. Yeah, that. Oh, okay. You actually showed me one of the fight scenes, one of the ridiculous fight scenes in that movie.
Bro, like here's the thing about Prey. People like that movie, and people said it's not woke, but they expect me to believe a 4'11" a village girl, tribal village girl, beat a grown male, like overpowered a grown male warrior in her tribe in hand-to-hand combat. Like people say, oh well, she beat the predator by being smart and using traps and stuff. Yeah, that's great, but she also beat a grown ass fucking warrior with her bare hands, being a 4'11" fucking tiny woman, bro. What the hell? Like that to people, they don't recognize that as fucking woke.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? That's normal. 4'11" fucking gatherer village girls in a fucking native tribe beats a fucking battle hardened tribal warrior of a Native American tribe. What the hell? Holy shit.
All right, so the people I sent the links out, I only sent it out to 2 people on X. I didn't hear back from them yet.
Okay.
Well, I usually don't. I usually would just like see if they popped up on the backstage area, but they didn't. So I put the link in the chat, and so now people are here in the
Well,
backstage. So
let those
I'm gonna
people
bring in,
join.
yeah. So it's kind of like first come first serve. It is what it is. In this case, I'm gonna have to like if there's more people appearing backstage, I'm definitely got to make the tough call of like who's coming on, who's not, and whatever. And again, like we said, don't take it personal, and I'll
It's
definitely
not personal, yeah.
keep note of whoever doesn't appear. You can obviously, make sure you guys come on the next one, and the people who did come on, probably won't be, especially if like everyone else will be like who weren't able to come on, this week.
You know
If
what's
that makes
funny,
sense.
bro? Remember, this is back to Virtual Fighter briefly, and before we continue, remember how like funny it is? Is like whenever we play together, like usually completely overwhelm you, like with like just like game knowledge and beat
We
you.
got
But
we
then,
we gotta talk about that.
but no. But that's not the point. It's funny
You got
because
you gotta do me like that.
well, it's funny because when you play the arcade mode, I can't beat Daryl, and I always get like angry and get my ass kicked, and then you usually beat her pretty easily, which I think is fucking hilarious. Like
That's because I cheese her. You always try to like, you
fighter,
know,
like
yeah, actually like really, really fight her, and I'm like thinking to myself like, no, it ain't gonna work. You gotta cheese her. That's what you gotta do. You gotta do some bitch ass tactics to
when she starts
beat her.
sidestepping and shit, and then kicks you off the stage,
Yeah,
bro.
then
I
she
just find it
fucking
funny.
starts juggling you and shit.
I'm
And
like,
then
yeah,
she usually does that just to get a ring out too, which pissed me off too.
like yeah, I'm good at the game. I know the mechanics. Then I play the fucking arcade, and then I can't beat her at all. And
And
then
she
you
does
just
the fucking
then
her
you
fucking
casually win.
she does the fucking boob boob fucking force field fucking
Her titty
smash.
bash,
Yeah,
the
titty
titty
bash
bash.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3-button fighter, but it's deep. Well, it's a 3-button fighter, but not really because if you consider the hotkeys, right? Like you have like the 2-button attacks, they kind of count as like more than a 3-button fighter, especially because since you can hotkey them. So like basically you have like a really heavy attack and then like a special attack and then your 2 face buttons. If you really think about it from like mechanically, but I agree with you. It is pretty simple.
Oh,
During them knowledge checks. Well, I mean, like, bro, like, look, yo, Young the Doom, like, yes, I whoop him with them. I used to play online. I do pretty good, right? But like I said, like, the thing is, knowledge checks don't work when you have no knowledge. As far as like the fucking girl goes, like, it's like that. Guys know the meme. They would be really angry if they could read, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
Duro would be really upset at my skill if she actually could read, if she actually knew what I was,
Mhm.
if it actually mattered.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Tasty Z and
hey,
Apollo Patriot.
What's up?
Oh
So what's
fuck,
up?
Tasty Z, boot him, get him out of here.
you like me that
Oh yeah.
much?
This is the anti Tasty Z space.
Oh, not again. What keeps happening?
Yeah, it's the third one this week.
It's my opinions. They're just too nuclear.
Pretty much, you're
Yeah.
too radical for the radicals.
It's
That's-
true.
They're too tasty.
Yeah, Tasty Z position.
I didn't like the new God of War games.
They
I'm a
fucking
heretic.
suck.
They do
Yeah.
suck.
What do you mean? What do you mean that you don't want extremely awesome, gory finishers? What do you mean you want the main enemies you fight to have orange blood?
Oh my god.
I just
Or you
like walking
fucking
and talking, bro.
oh yeah. Carry that big ass log of wood, that fucking tree as we talk for a long ass time, and
I
then
feel like
let's get on the boat and row the boat slowly as we talk for a long time.
We have to bury our wife, boy. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to kill things.
But come on, it's deep. Kratos wasn't deep before. He's deep now because he walks slowly. He has a son. And he tries to be a good dad.
He's got a
You know,
beard that he's going to trip over. He's so deep.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's so funny
he has
to
a
me
beard
because
now.
it's so funny to me because when you think about if you actually played the original God of War games, man, like that Kratos was a much more nuanced character. He actually had a lot of depth in than people give him credit for. He was very complex. Like he was kind of like there's even elements of it where he like you can see that he does not like being being perceived as a monster, but he is, right? Like when you meet civilians and they're just terrified of him, and like sometimes, yeah, he's aggressive, but there are other times in the original where he kind of has like a more of like a resigned demeanor. You know what I mean? Like he just kind of embraces the role as the bad guy. Like for example, when the woman's running from him, or when the guy is running from him and he needs the medallion, it's like he doesn't even try to fight and convince him that he's not like that. But you can see that his body's acting is portraying more resignation, you know, and
Real
it's
quick,
underrated.
Marty Kusanagi, Charles Barky Bark. He said he had to go. So
All right, see you later, bro.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Appreciate you.
Bye bye, Charles Kusanagi.
Charles Kusanagi.
I mean, that's his moniker. That's his moniker. Don't wear his use, said Benjamin Franklin.
So anyway, Saints Row, a new Saints Row may be coming our way at some point. And yeah, so I don't know if anyone's really optimistic about it or happy about it, but I'm gonna try to pull up so I can find this fellow's name because I don't want to. I think his name is Chris something, and I want to get some information right. You know, I don't want to just completely just talk out of my ass. You know. So
What do you mean you don't want to talk with your cheeks? You better start clapping.
So, so yeah, he was apparently approached by Embracer about pitching a new Saints Row, and I'm talking while I'm trying to fucking find the thing. Let me actually not do that while I'm talking. So he has some ideas for it to be set in I believe this is what he said, in the 1970s or some shit, like a prequel, you know, another prequel. Before this, when he left Volition, I think it was after Saints Row 1. I don't remember if it was 2, but he is with some company where they make VR games. I don't know how successful they are. I don't know what games they are. I really don't really care. I don't care for VR. But so he is pitching. I don't know if it's him and his team. I would assume it's, you know, whatever studio he's at. So my guess is that they're not gonna do a repeat of the fucking college shit, student shit, fucking waffle maker, fucking Steve Urkel, and fucking
never again.
Latinx mechanic, and fucking
Horrible.
the black the black queen with her side shaved head as the default boss character. I don't think they're going to that. Regardless of who they approach, I don't think they're going in that direction again. But that's not to say that it will be like, you know that much better. Who knows? Because, you know, these companies, they repeat the same mistakes constantly, and then they, you know, point the finger at everyone else but themselves. And we also don't even know for sure if this will be like, you know, greenlit or not. He was just really approached about, you know, pitching an idea, writing something out or whatever.
Yeah.
So who knows? But yeah, Jim,
But well, I was gonna say that, you know, assuming that it's a crime game in the 70s that is not like, you know, it's kind of like trying to stay true to the 70s. Could modern liberals even handle a game like that? Do people like? I wonder if like people understand how crazy that era was in history. Like, yeah, there was a lot of like progressive shit going on, but like that was like the peak of like fucking mustached, fucking slap their wife beater era. You know what I mean? Like, Like it was such like a crazy time. We had all kinds of like crazy shit happening in society. Like I don't know if you reasonably recreated that era in like a crime lord environment, if modern day people would be able to handle that. I don't think they would. Which is why I'm led to believe that if they do make a game in that era, it would probably still be woke trash or revisionist history.
I mean, what you'd
Yeah, I was going
have
to
to,
mention that. It may be another history piece where they, do a lot of alterations to make it
Yeah, that's what
align
I
with their
think.
worldviews.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because they're not going to let you like go on. Word on the street is, and then you go and talk to the undercover. You go talk to the snitch who's like a pimp or something. It's just not going to happen.
I just don't see it. Yeah, I think that they're just gonna play it for like the funkadelic, like disco, goofy shit or whatever. I doubt that they'll make it like really have that vibe that it should have as like a seven. I mean, granted, it is parody and it's not super serious, but I think that like they're just not even gonna explore that. Like, bro, like the '70s is crazy. Like anyone from the '60s and '70s that's still around will tell you that era was fucking crazy. Like. You had no survey. I mean, think about how many serial killers existed in that era because of the lack of surveillance, for example.
Yeah, and
Oh,
what worries me is
actually-
the race, sort of, the conflict between the Italians and the blacks.
Yeah.
Is an all-time high.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if they'll be
just
able to handle
clarify,
that.
because I actually have the information now. So this
Sure.
guy his name is Chris Stockman. He was the original design director for Saints Row. So, yeah,
Oh.
that information.
Interesting that he'd want to take it back to the 70s, because Saints Row is very it's especially the first one and second one. It's very
Mid 2000s.
yeah, mid 2000s. Yeah, absolutely.
Very much so.
Especially the first one. The first one felt like it was like fucking 50 Cent could appear in the game at any moment, honestly.
Yeah,
Really,
like Pimp My Ride MTV shit, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Which was also like the peak of like hood culture being satirized, where it was kind of like still hood culture, but it was also kind of like somewhat like more lighthearted and comedic as compared to now, where it's obviously like much darker and much more like based on being stupid.
Yeah.
Not that I ever
sympathize with them too.
Yeah, not that I ever particularly liked it like too much, but like it definitely was more like it definitely was I in a weird way more like family friendly hood shit in the 2000s. I'm not explaining like as far as that goes, right?
Yeah,
But-
yeah. It was like the funny aspect of San Andreas, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it is hood. It's probably not the best thing, but there's like a lightness to it. But now it's like, yeah, do drugs. You can't fucking understand anything that they're saying. They're drinking cough syrup and shit. Like, it's like
they attack you with mumble rap,
mumble rap. Yeah. They're every other word is like bitch or whatever else. Like, there's nothing else going on.
I mean, I would like if they went back to the early 2000s and tried to do a game from that perspective. I think
That would be nice.
Breath of fresh air, to be honest.
Yeah,
I would
prefer that over if they're taking it to the 70s or anything like.
Yeah.
They should go to 1980s Scarface coked out crime lord shit. That would be like to me like peak. And I don't know why developers aren't doing it. It's like they're actively avoiding it. Like as if that's the holy grail of guaranteed money and they don't want to tap into it until all their other ideas fail. You know what I mean? That kind of like reservation or something. Cause bro, like that's the peak era. Like the fucking like coked out Miami, sexy women partying, clubbing, fucking crazy good music, colorful scenery, Colombian and fucking drug lords all over the place, mafia shit. Like that's like the perfect era for that kind of game.
Yeah, especially with the RICO trials going on. It's great for the mafia stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they want to fucking don't want to do it. Like I don't care. I don't want to. Honestly, bro. Like I don't even really. If you're gonna do something like a crime game, you got to make it fun. The only way you're gonna make it work where it's inoffensive is if it's fun. If you don't make it fun and you just make it like purely dark and based in realism, then you enter into territory that becomes that people won't be able to tolerate because they'll find offensive. You know what I mean? Like for example, San Andreas works because a lot of it is like satirized, right? But if you made like an honest game based on that era and like that and crime, it would be very fucking dark. And I think that people would be offended by something like that because they would find it like racist or problematic, despite it reflecting real world shit. You know, it's kind of like what they want it to be versus what it actually is. So you have to satirize. And if you're going to satirize, then why fucking bother making like errors that nobody cares about? You might as well go for what's going to be the most fun.
Yeah. And my thing is like this guy, like this Stockman guy, Chris Stockman.
That's true. We have Vice City. You're right. But maybe a new one, you know?
Yeah,
Vice City.
There's nothing wrong with another Vice City type of game.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this guy, like I don't know I don't know shit about him obviously, but we really don't know like has he contacted the woke virus? You know, is he still like of that mind of how he was years ago, or has he gone soft and is gonna like, you know, lead people in, like lead everyone on to think like, oh, it's gonna be like the older games, like they did with the fucking reboot. And then
nothing like
it,
that.
and then once you see the game, the reveal trailer, then it's like, oh, okay, it's gonna be some fucking, I mean, call what is, it's gonna be some gay shit, gonna be some modern audience shit that no one asked for except for the, you know, the new fans that like God of War 2018 and Ragnarok and fucking Spider-Man 2 and, you know, Ghost of Yote and all that. Like that, like if they're gonna appeal to those people, then don't waste your time again. Don't even bother. Don't waste anyone's time, not even your time. It's not even worth it. But if they really want, but if he and the team, I think he even said he would like to contact other former people from Volition. Like if you're gonna bring anyone back, don't bring the bitches back. Don't bring the soy boys back. Bring people who have that mindset of like that they want to make something that's truly unapologetic, the same mindset they had going in before with the older games, and they're not gonna bow down to these people. And if Embrace the Group doesn't want that, then don't go along with it or try to be like, all right, well, I guess we'll just, you know, think of different ideas that they may like. Because I don't understand this idea where it's like that mindset where apparently what Volition did, where they were being rejected all these different ideas for New Saints Row, and then they came up with the idea with what they ended up coming up with, mainly because apparently, allegedly, that, you know, they were thinking of something that Embracer or more so THQ Nordic would accept. And my thought is that why would you first of all, like, why would you even subject yourself to that? Like, why would I? It's like if I'm working on something and I want something to be, you know, good. Like if I was hypothetically, if I was to make, let me get this out of the way. If I was to make if I was in charge of making a Final Fantasy VII remake, and Square Enix is like, yeah, we would like it to be cut down in 3 parts, and, you know, multiverse shit, and, you know, a lot of Kingdom Hearts type of like callback type of, you know, nonsense, you know, all that. Let's just, you know, spread it out, you know, just so we can get money. You know, if I really care, then I'm gonna say no. So if this Chris Stockman, if he really wants to bring the series back, you know, to its roots, you know, the usual, you know, talking points, return to form, yada yada yada, all that. You know, if he really wants it to be like the older games, then hopefully he has the spine and balls to stick with that and not let like any like Embracer or whoever talk him into like, oh, well, we really want to try that college student scenario again. You know, maybe
Well, but you know, I agree with you. I actually agree with you, but you're forgetting like major factors. Like one major factor is that a lot of it has to do with. This is what it has to do with.
I mean,
but hold on.
I understand if he's contracted, but
no, but listen, and like this is the perspective that they have. Okay. We're the publisher. What we say goes, and we pay the bills. We have people that are invested in our company, and those people want our game to abide by whatever shit because they want them both to return. Or alternatively, I as the publisher want to make sure myself that those investors get paid by trying to homogenize my game as much as possible. So you, person that is contracted to me, better do what I say with the woke shit, or you don't get to make the game. Period. That's really what a lot of it boils down to. So even if the guy himself doesn't align with that vision, if the publisher determines that he must do things a certain way, he's gonna fucking do it. It's the same reason why, like on platforms like Steam, people will censor their own content because Steam will say, "Well, we don't like this aspect of it, so you gotta change it if you want to be on our platform." You know what I mean? So even though that person might not align with that value, they'll feel pressure to do so. But it's actually worse with this guy in this case, hypothetically, because he'll be contracted. Right. So if it was me doing something like that, I would try to lay everything out and have a creative contract agreement before I even start working for the company. We would have to sign a contract before then.
Yeah, and I don't know if he signed anything yet. I think as far as what's known so far, he's just been contacted to, pitch ideas or an idea and whatnot. So he probably hasn't signed anything yet.
But I mean that I would
so-
make I would push for the contract. I would say, listen, if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want me to make this, you have to sign a contract saying that you won't interfere with certain things. And I know they probably won't do it, but that would be the only way as a professional who doesn't want my games to have that content in it. That would be the only way I could protect myself. Because imagine or think about this. I do this shit with you on YouTube, and imagine I finish my game, and then I want to publish it or whatever, and my audience, they trust me as a guy who's against this shit, and then because of the studio that's publishing the game, I have to abide by wokeness. In that particular instance, it actually hurts my reputation to make a game like that. You could argue it hurt my reputation with my audience because I'm playing ball with something I don't agree with. And then if there's an NDA involved, it gets even worse because then you end up with like a stutter blade situation where you can't necessarily badmouth PlayStation and say they made you do it, but it also kind of hurt your fucking what's the word called, credibility.
Right.
Because now people think that you went back on your word, but you also legally can't say, well, PlayStation kind of forced me to do it, right? So
Yeah.
So it becomes a weird situation. So I guess that's how I would handle it. But honestly, they wouldn't do it anyway. They'll just say, fuck off, we'll get someone else. But that would be like the stipulation that you would need to have in order to protect yourself or to make what you really want to make in that regard.
Yeah, and to be clear, like what I was saying before, with Volition and what they ended up doing, like I get if they're like, obviously they're contracted, they kind of like they can't just outright be like, no, we're not going to do it. So whatever.
To be fair,
But,
a lot of those devs were liberals, though. To be fair,
yeah, no, they were, they definitely were.
So I'm just saying that there could be a scenario where a person like an Amy Hennig or somebody might not want to do a certain kind of game, but be contracted to do it and already like kind of signed on, got NDAs and shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How much can she really say about Neil Druckmann legally, for example? I'm sure there's some form of NDAs where she can't bash him too much.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So
yeah, and with Volition, I'm aware that there's a lot of liberals there. So I don't believe most of them didn't want to do that reboot. So I think a lot of people probably want to put the narrative that, Volition was innocent. They still want to do that because a lot of people, content creators, are they're friends with them. They get invited. They get free shit. They get, they're part of little like content creator programs and all that. They talk to them, off screen, like on Discord or whatever, through email, or whatever. So I know a lot of it has to do with like content creators protecting developers that they're, quote unquote friends with. So that's why I don't fully buy that, Volition's like they were innocent the whole thing, even though
no, they weren't. They of course most of them probably at least maybe I honestly think maybe a lot of the programmers were innocent, like the actual construction workers that build your game. I'm sure a lot of them were like just people working, but like the higher ups, creative directors and shit like that, all those people were probably like playing ball with the bullshit, obviously. So, that's just like honestly, I don't think it would be like. I don't think you could really like blame like a fucking programmer because imagine you're like a 48-year-old fucking I was gonna say virgin. I meant German. Why associate virgin with Germans? Whatever. Like you're a 48-year-old German programmer. You know what I mean? English is your second language, and you're just a coder. Like I don't think you really like are like, yeah, I want to put woke shit in the game. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right.
He's just doing his fucking job as told. I mean, but the creative director, obviously they're creating and directing, so
Yeah.
like,
And mind you, Volition, they did Saints Row 3. They went in that direction. A lot of people didn't like it. They did Saints Row 4. People didn't like it. They did God of Hell. People didn't like it. I'm not saying everyone didn't, a portion of their audience of fans, Saints Row fans in particular, they didn't like it. They even did with Red Faction Armageddon. A lot of people didn't like that one. And then they did Agents of Mayhem. A lot of people didn't like that. So they were bumbling
wait,
a lot. So even before then, so
which one was the one with the crazy physics? That's not Armageddon, right? That's Gorilla. Isn't
yeah,
isn't uh isn't there a different name for the one with the
the
one that people
remaster.
hated? No, the one that people hated, not Armageddon.
No, it's called Armageddon.
Is it?
Yeah, Red Faction Armageddon.
I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, I thought it was called Fracture for some reason.
No, that's a different game called Fractured. I think it
Okay,
was like an early 360 game.
okay, forget
It
it.
had like some like physics and shit like that going on. But
Okay,
I know we got a little sidetracked a bit, but well, okay, kind of, not really. But Apollo, you've been waiting very patiently as
Oh
usual.
yeah.
So I'm sure you have a lot
hold
to
on.
say.
I know Apollo wants to talk, but I'm not done. Yet. I'm joking. I'm joking. Continue.
So the Saints Row. I mean, I really don't know about the whole situation. It's pretty crazy about the 1970s direction. I don't know if they're gonna mess it all up because 1970s was like Vietnam era. I think Vietnam ended in 74, 75. Vietnam ended. So like I don't know how that's gonna play in with Saints Row. Like yeah, that was Vietnam. After the Vietnam War, and are they going to make jokes about the Vietnam War in the Saints Row game? I do not know. Like you know how 1970s were pretty out there. People were hippies. People listened to heavy metal, all that stuff, and I don't know what's going to happen with the Saints Row 1970s game. Is it going to be like in Florida or like I don't know. Like I don't know if I have hope for the game. I don't know if it's I don't know. It's pretty weird. Like how about 1980s Scarface? Like y'all were saying, what I mean? Um I'm just trying to keep it simple. Like it's like a wild roller coaster ride with the new Saints Row game. Like I
Yeah.
mean, if they want to make it really good, how about like do it like in the 1990s gangster warfare? Like do it like in somewhere like Chicago or New York, like
That's a good idea.
big city area, kind of like the original Saints Row 1 and 2. You know what I mean? And I, I mean that's what I can say, and add all the food places back the way it is. The
Oh
car,
yeah, like the was it rim jobs instead of
yeah,
Jim Rob or
yeah,
whatever the fuck they
yeah.
changed in the reboot?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, all that.
Or the
I mean,
freckle bitches they turned to FBs or something.
FBs.
Yeah,
wow,
jeez.
that's. I mean,
Might as well have just hung your balls on the sign, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
um, I mean, yeah, it's. I don't know if they're gonna make it woke. Like, I really don't know because if the Saints Row One is a Saints Row One dev coming over there and fixing things up, I feel like they're going to put more pressure on the guy. Yeah, we want to make it for the modern audience. I do not know because you see what happened with Saints Row Reboot. That was
Mm-hmm.
a god awful, big time failure.
Yeah, train
Like,
wreck right from the start.
I'm not too sure they've learned their lesson from Saints Row Reboot. If they want to do 1970s, they gotta do it like a lot of funny jokes, a lot of dark jokes, a lot of everything. Because
I want
1970s,
I want a pimp named Julio that has a Jerry curl mullet and a mustache as a primary character.
and
Otherwise, I won't play it, bro.
I would love to see Johnny Gat going back in the 1970s game, but as a retired Vietnam. I would see Johnny Gat as a retired Vietnam character from the Vietnam War and having crazy flashbacks, making crazy jokes on
I
like
mean,
enemy character.
uh,
I don't know. That'd be cool. Something.
that's actually interesting. You had mentioned Johnny Gat because we don't know if it's gonna be like another like reboot or if it's gonna exist within like the original Saints Row universe and it's the
Yeah.
prequel to one or whatever it may be. But it like if it is like a prequel to one,
Yeah.
then they can put like I don't know Johnny Gat's dad or
Yeah,
uncle
like
or someone like that in
yeah,
there,
he
kind of
Why
as a
not? Why not have him
throwback.
as like? Why not have him as? I don't know how old he is in the series, but why not have him as a kid and he's a troublemaker in school during the 70s or maybe mid to late 70s, kind of like a troublemaker.
Just call it
As
Bully
just,
2.
as just, but like the game's not about him. He's just like a side, like kind of more like an Easter egg where you like you have a part where you're in the school talking to a teacher and he's kind of like a dickhead student, like a real piece of work, like
Yeah.
it's like a cool Easter egg. I don't know, something like that, but.
that's what I can say. Like, don't know what it's gonna flop.
I mean, I can talk to. I mean, I haven't said anything yet, so no.
That's what I can say.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah,
Takes
really
easy.
quickly, because I don't need to go over anything else. Obviously, so Embracer has not done well at all. They bought up a bunch of different properties, a bunch of different intellectual properties, different developers and whatnot, and they haven't really made money on any of it. So Saints Row, it tanked. Dead Island 2, it tanked. Any of the Tomb Raider games. I mean, what's Tomb Raider been doing recently?
Making bad movies.
Making bad movies.
They turned it to Larry Croft.
Yeah, they also cancelled the Deus Ex game that people were actually looking forward to. So, if they're throwing like
Did
ideas-
Embracer buy Eidos's library or something? Eidos?
Yes,
Okay,
they
that
bought,
makes sense.
Yeah, Eidos Montreal's library and
Very
Crystal
interesting.
Dynamics. They're kind of like a package.
Yeah, gotcha.
Do they have Soul Reaver? I'm not Soul Reaver. Legacy of Kain. Do they have that IP?
No. Yes, they should do actually.
They should, right? Because
should.
wasn't it this Crystal Dynamics that had them and Eidos helped development on some of the games, didn't they?
Yeah, they were like the
Yeah.
publishers for it.
Yeah.
Or what was it? So did Square Enix have rights to it, and then didn't they sell that off, like abandon it or something?
Yeah, I actually believe because we did get the remaster, so that means that was Embracer that did that. So it looks like what they're doing is that they're trying to ship around for some low. Like will he end up making like a new Saints Row, or does this sound a little bit more palatable? What about a remaster of 2, which was something that's been thingied around for a long time, including by the late programmer, one of the late programmers of
Idle
Saints Row 2.
Ninja.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think inevitably, I think that that would be the worst thing they can do. Because they're clearly, most of these development studios are clearly incapable of doing one-to-one remakes or remasters. Well, not remasters, but mostly like
find
remakes.
They'll find a way to change it.
And with all the content that's in Saints Row 2, even if it's just like a really good quality remaster on a better engine or whatever, I think that a lot of the content would be censored. I mean, they couldn't even handle think about it. They put a disclaimer in the Spire Tomb Raider shit.
That's true. They did.
And that was Crystal Dynamics. So Embracer, I feel like I don't know how much involvement Embracer directly dictates with that stuff, but I don't think that they would even remaster that game and keep it as one whole thing. I don't even think that they would remaster a game like Metal Gear Rising and not censor it anymore.
Yeah.
So
I think
that alone something as
I think the whole Tomb Raider thing was Crystal Dynamics. In
maybe.
truth.
Yeah.
I think it was them because they had the stupid thing at the beginning, didn't they? The trigger warning.
The disclaimer.
Yeah.
Basically saying we're modern liberals, so if you're mad about this, just know that we're liberals and this is an old game. That's pretty much the simplistic translation of what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you might have because with the Soul Reaver collection, they actually brought a couple of people on board who were actually, like really sort of in depth in collecting information and, textures and stuff like over the years. Essentially, they kind of made a museum to it, if you will. Nice. And they brought those people on to actually properly work on them. Same with the Tomb Raider thing. They actually got people that were, ex PC PC port developers for it. And
Yeah.
you know what? A couple of things amiss here and there, but for the most part, they're really solid remasters.
I like the Tomb Raider remasters, especially like if you're talking about the Legacy of Kain or Soul Reaver or the Tomb Raider ones. I haven't played the Soul Reaver ones, but the Tomb Raider ones are pretty decent, you know.
Yeah, they are.
And the fact that you can switch between both real time gameplay is really cool. And they, as soon as they received some criticism about a poster in the game, they immediately fixed it. So I gotta say they've been kind of good about it, honestly.
So what's to say that they don't bring somebody who was maybe working with Idle Ninja? Because he had some people around him, like some online people around him that were working on it too. So what's to say that they don't bring the people that made the PC port of Saints Row 2 is terrible, right? But you had some people that came together and fixed it up the best they could. And to be fair, considering what they were working with, it was a miracle that it works as well as it does. What if they brought some of them on board?
Yeah,
I
agree.
And I think that if they did that, it would at least be a better pitch for Embracer than just going into a brand new one. Because to be frank, nobody wants to see Saints Row, another Saints Row. They want to see the old one, the number 2. That's what they want to see for now.
It really just depends on who gets put in charge of that remaster.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to. It's like who gets put onto it. But I do think that Embracer themselves are like highly, highly, highly compromised within their own, like, they're within themselves, in and of themselves, are so compromised and I think that there's a difference between a game like Soul Reaver or like Tomb Raider as opposed to Saints Row, because I feel like the content in Saints Row is inherently just more provocative. So because of that, they might take a more careful approach to it because of the nature of the content.
They would have to do. I mean, I'm not even talking about like censoring stuff. I'm talking about having to pull songs out because of and that
copyright
always sucks. But copyright, and that always sucks. But that would be an inevitability.
First they'll remove and a lot of those songs, man, are like kind of obscure rap songs too. So a lot of them are going to be gone. They might ask for too much money for some of them because also some of those rappers went on to be like pretty big names.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, like I said, the content is inherently more racy. Like Tomb Raider, she's sexy or whatever, and you have like some stuff that's kind of like provocative. But like Saints Row 2 is to such a level that I feel like Embracer would just pussy out and do that.
Yeah,
I just feel like that's what they'll do. But I hope I'm wrong. I would like to be wrong about it.
I would like if they did, because it would just be nice to have a version that works. But if it's too heavily compromised, like with Sonic Origins, how they literally like took out the Michael Jackson's music.
Yes.
And it's just like, and then they remove the older versions from purchase list. Yeah, the stores, exactly.
They delisted them,
They delisted them. So rather than spend like £9 for all 3, you had to spend like 30 odd pounds for this botched Origins version, which is like the guy that actually did the widescreen fix and polished up Sonic 3 and everything. He didn't have enough time to get it finished properly. It was a massive rush job, and I don't want that to happen to Saints Row 2, obviously.
Yeah. Honestly, I would honestly take lower resolution if the game works. Like I know it sounds crazy, but like I could play I could play like a stretched out PS1 game, for example, if it means it's the complete correct version and I have the ability to play it with with modern convenience.
Yeah. Because
then you can ultimately just have fans like you could literally have a fan take every texture from Resident Evil 2, for example, on like a more like on like a regular base version of the game, and they could pretty much upscale it themselves and then release it as a mod. So I feel like as long as the game has an availability to it, then I'm okay with it, even if it is just a straight up like port. But like I don't mean like a port, like a lazy port. I mean like it's just optimized to work better, maybe run faster on your hardware.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'll take that.
But to conclude, Embracer, they won't be making any big moves anytime soon.
Yeah. Crazy how you could have all the cards, all the games, all the big names, and then release nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have it all go to waste.
They put so much. I don't know why they put money into Saints Row Reboot. Anyone could have told them it wasn't going to sell. Anyone.
Yeah, right? Even a blind man could have told them.
Yeah.
Even a blind man could see.
Well, I can't see anything, but this sure sounds like shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I can't see it, but I could sure smell it.
Probably happy he couldn't see what it looked like too.
As soon as the main protagonist opens his mouth, he just be like, "Oh, no."
Yeah, yeah, no. Alrighty then. So let's get to the next topic, and then we'll switch it out. So we'll do
no problems. Yeah, so absolutely.
Square Enix, they gave the boot to a bunch of liberals, I'm hoping, from the U.S. departments, and some from the European departments as well, from what I heard. But we'll just stick with the U.S. for now, since that's the main thing that's been going on about. And people are speculating maybe they're gonna, get their shit together finally. The way I look at it is, I'll believe it when I see it. As of right now, they can just be getting rid of people just because they've been losing so much money. Because a lot of the games been flopping. I think this year and next year they don't have really anything big or major planned, unless the third waste of time, the remake of Final Fantasy VII gets announced this year or early next year, and then they say, "Oh, it's going to come out in 2026, late in the year, or whatever." But who knows? But they've been putting out some lesser projects, like a lot of remasters that are also still woke, like the fucking Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, where they changed, couldn't have male and female, I'm gonna have body type and whatnot. So just like with the Dragon Quest remasters or remakes, whatever you want to call it, what they were doing with that. So
it doesn't change anything, yet they do it. What does that tell you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the old adage.
And people will be like, "Oh, if it's not a big deal." Well, if it's not a big deal, why they changed it?
Well, I always use that old adage, right? If it doesn't matter, why change it? If it does matter, why does it matter? It's kind of like I always use that to describe race swaps, right? Like, all right, if the race doesn't matter, then why did you change it? If it does matter, why did you change it? Because either way, no matter what their justification is, it's always bad. Either one is like pretty egregious. It's like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
I hate when they say that, because it's like, well, aren't you angry at this surface level virtue signaling? Do they think you're not worth the good stuff? I guess.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Disappeared.
Oh, it did. Rev, you still there? Ooh.
Spooky ghosts in here.
There's spooky ghosts. Huh.
I mean, with that, it's pretty funny they got laid off, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
How about they just do it like, yeah, we're just gonna hire Japanese and South Koreans. That'd be good. That'd be a chef's kiss.
Well, do you know what they've been doing? They've been the movies, the games that they're putting all this money into is not making money, and they've been deliberately sabotaging the games that do make them money, like Final Fantasy XIV.
Yep. You got to bringing the wrong people in. And then that's what they end up getting. I think even some of those people, like I think the community manager for 14 is still there, so they still haven't gotten rid of everyone. That's obviously fucking them over and just turning them into shit.
They got rid of a localizer called Kate.
Which one is that?
The localizer formerly known as Kate.
Yes, formerly known as Kate. She was a big problem. She was a huge problem.
You know what the thing is? Maybe they're just learning. Look, maybe they're learning their lesson. Maybe they're just like, we try to play the American game to make big money, and we realize that people are not responding the way we want. So we're just going to do what we always did. That would be the best outcome, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
If that was true, I mean, I'm giving them a lot of good faith there because it's probably not true. This is like really wishful thinking, but I would love for that to be true. Where they're saying, "Wait, well, wait a minute. We listen to Americans, and now we have a bunch of immigrants in our country, and our games aren't working or they're failing. I think there's something wrong here, guys. So maybe we should like not listen to them. You know, that would be the best
Prime
outcome."
Minister's coming by our office later on, guys. We got to get rid of these people.
Yeah, because bro, like think about it, like it's kind of crazy, man, how like things have changed. And honestly, with Square Enix, they have like it's like you said, they have those IPs and they just ruin them. Like I was never a big fan of Final Fantasy 14 like that, to be honest with you, because I don't like I kind of just like the more like streamlined Final Fantasy games, right?
No, 100%, yeah.
But like if something's making you money and working, bro, like keep it up. Like give your fans what they want. Like what's the point of like arbitrarily changing it? Like, I mean, obviously, you know, you could argue it's government interference, at least in the US case and shit like that, or whatever it may be. But, you know, you got to like keep your business afloat. And sometimes you got to accept it. You might lose some people along the way. Like, you know, that's why I kind of like the Sydney Sweeney thing where like, you know, they try to get at her for like the jeans ad and she's like been unapologetic about it from what I understand.
Yeah.
And I like that she's taking that approach because she shouldn't have to apologize for being a young, attractive white girl, bro. Like, why should she have to feel bad or apologize about that?
I mean, she didn't write. I mean, she didn't write the advert. You know, the script for the advert.
Well, also, but even the advert itself isn't inherently racist or anything. Like to think that that's racist is kind of like brain dead, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Because you have to infer so many different things that all it does is expose your own your own self if you really like go down that path, right? Like if I say like, if they're saying Sydney Sweeney has good genes, it's because they're saying she has good genes because obviously the pun, but also because she's fucking high.
Yeah, exactly. She's like objectively good looking, and she's wearing jeans.
And she's wearing jeans, so she has good genes. They didn't say, Sydney Sweeney has good genes because she's a white person, you know, or like whatever. Fucking,
she has good genes because she is the Ubermensch.
Yeah, the Ubermensch. Yeah. The Uberwoman, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then also like, all right, objectively, if you have eyes, she has good genes, judging by her two very genetically well endowed assets, bro. Right. So like, regardless how you look at it, you know, if these people are getting mad about that ad, it's like, all right, well, you're mad about good genes, and then like, but basically that means in your mind, your brain is focused on like racist ass shit that other people aren't thinking about.
Yeah.
So kind of crazy. So
Supertron actually made a good point. Says it's possible that some corporations are holding off on the propaganda until they see how the next election goes in 2028.
That's possible. That's possible.
But it's going to sink them. It's going to sink them if they do that because they're going to be holding on to something that's not going to be, you know, like they're going to be holding on to it, and then when it comes out, it's going to be like, wow, this is dated as fuck.
Well, also remember that you're being what these games, because like circling back to, because all of what I was saying before kind of ties back to gaming in the sense that when you have like these people that think a certain way and like they don't reflect most average people, you can't really listen to them. You know how many gamers just like games? Like most of the apolitical people in the world don't really like care either way. So why make your game cater to a certain group of people that's gonna only alienate your real audience, right?
Yeah.
Like you lose more by alienating the people that are your main audience, because the apolitical people, they'll buy anyway, but the people that are complaining about all this shit were never your fans to begin with. So you're objectively gonna get less money for making these games regardless. And like you said before about the what was it about the damn, you just said it right now. Now I'm getting brain fog. What the fuck was it? Damn, now I lost my train of thought. But basically, like circling back around, if you're making these games and you're I remember now. So you're gonna hold off. Like, just fucking make the games and just see if it sells well, because the things that are holding companies back and indie devs and whatever it's not the gamers willing to buy it. It's like the platforms like trying to like blacklist you or not host your games, or them trying to give you bad press or whatever. But like ultimately, like if you put the product out there and it's good, people are going to buy it if they like it. So you might as well just ignore them and then honestly, I would just say start outing these companies. Just say it loud.
Yeah, like if you hold on to your game, you're just telling the publisher that you don't care if it makes money. You just want to get your message out there.
Exactly. Like, just say it, bro. Like, honestly, just release your game and say what it is. Like, yeah, we wanted to release our game, but Sony said they didn't like this, so we couldn't put it on there. That'll make people not be on Sony's dick. That'll make people want a game on PC. That'll make people want to support you on whatever other platform. Like, our game, we wanted to put it on Steam, but Steam said that our sexy woman was this, and it was hypocritical because look at this game is on here. Just say it, bro. Fuck it. As long as you don't sign an NDA, they can't do shit about it, especially if it's true and you have emails to back up what you're saying. Yeah. So just expose them. Just expose them. Fuck them. Honestly, fuck them. Stop trying to be. It's like trying to be with the popular crowd. You're trying to, like, imagine you're a high school kid. You're trying to be with these popular kids, and then all the shit that you actually like, you abandon to be cool, and then you realize that you're not even yourself anymore. And by the time you realize that, it's too late. All your real cool friends who play games or do whatever, and now they they don't trust you, they don't like you, and all these popular kids you're hanging out with, you never really wanted to hang out with them to begin with.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And they weren't even the popular kids. They were the lame hippies.
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly. In this case, they're not even the popular kids. They're the lame hippies, right? Yeah, so that's the point. So to me, I would say if you're a developer and you don't sign an NDA, instead of having this whole, well, if we talk shit about them, that might hurt us badly in the future. As like, fuck them, bro. Tell the truth. They don't want you to have your game on there because your fucking character's thighs are too thick, her cleavage is fucking showing too much, or the game has some content they don't like. And then say, you know what? Buy our game on itch.io. Buy it on itch.io. Yeah, it'll be like a little more inconvenient because it's not on a console, but hey, you might build a more dedicated fan base, and you'll be surprised how many people might want to switch over, because the more companies that do that, the more people are going to realize, like, wait a minute, on PlayStation, I don't have as much freedom for games as I thought. With game choice, I thought PlayStation was a good deal. I might just switch to PC, and a lot of like anti-woke gamers and stuff have actually switched to PC. So.
Yeah.
Why not, bro? Why not? Stop playing ball.
Making that decision very easy by just showing that they have absolutely no fucking clue what they're doing at all.
Microsoft is going to be a third party developer soon.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen. They're just going to create infrastructures, net codes, shit like that, platform gaming, like subscription
Halo
platforms.
Remakes.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying. They're not going to be like they're not going to be like a Sega directly where they're just making games. I think they're also just going to make controllers for PlayStation and shit. Like make controllers for Nintendo. Make a PC marketplace, which they already have, like shit like that. But they're not going to be like a console developer. They're going to be closer to like something more like Valve. You know what I mean, or something like that. I think
they want to be Valve. It's so bloody obvious.
Well, they have the ROG thing now.
Yeah.
Which apparently is pretty powerful, but because it's Microsoft by default, I wouldn't buy it, just because it's a Microsoft product, I wouldn't get it.
Well, they say that they're going to like have, it's going to be a PC, it's going to be a Microsoft, an Xbox and a PC, and it's going to be like, but I'd rather just have the PC and take the Xbox tumor off it, right?
Pretty much, yeah. The only value you would get is the portability. You would just have the portability, but to be honest, I like portability because I'm the kind of guy, like if I'm like in public transportation or something, or doing something where I don't want to I need to entertain myself. I want to entertain myself. It's kind of nice to have like a powerful handheld that can do that, right? Like I have a Switch. Like the fact that I can play like Doom whenever I want on my Switch is pretty cool,
Yeah.
Or like Arkham or whatever it may be. So, but I would say obviously the Steam Deck would be better because it has more availability of games. So there is that advantage to it being like a portable PC. But if you don't really care about that, and also you can connect them to your TV as well, so you can kind of use it like in a similar way to the Switch. So there's that advantage as well. But honestly, like I would just because of Microsoft, I wouldn't get a ROG. I wish that like a third party made something as powerful, without the X, like you said, without the Xbox
Without
tuner on
the
it.
Xbox, yeah.
Yeah,
Without Microsoft.
yeah. And there are some Chinese alternatives, but again, Chinese alternatives. So take with that what you will.
I remember I used to watch a channel called Ashens, and he used to review things on his couch, and he used to review, the knockoff like Tiger Electronics.
Yeah.
But they're from China, and they're called like Pop Station and Neo games because they're supposed to look like PSPs and DSs. I love
Bro,
that.
I had a fake PlayStation 1 called a Polystation.
Yes.
It was like some Chinese bullshit that like I think my grandmother got for me or whatever. And like it had like a bunch of games on them. But like it did run like a bunch of modern games. Like I was like a preteen, whatever. So it did run at the time, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with it was like all of the games were like the most unoptimized or like the worst performing like PC version of it, right? So you'd have like I'll have like Dragon Ball Z on there, like the Ultimate Battle game, but it would be like the color palette was terrible. Like you could tell it was like at the lowest specs possible. Like the sound sounded fucking awful. But I mean, those things were, but to be honest, you get like 100 like pretty much AAA game knockoff. Like they are those games, just low spec, and you get it for like $30 at the time. Like that's pretty good actually. Believe it or not,
it is pretty good.
Makes it funnier. You're buying that shit at a 99-cent store or something.
Yeah.
Right?
It just got like the terrible like Tamagotchi graphics that you can barely make them out.
There was a Pokemon game where you play as Pikachu. It was like a side scroller, and like all the enemies were like not anything from Pokemon for the most part. Like only some were. And it was very obvious to me that they just like took an existing game and just swapped the sprite for like Pikachu and shit like that. It was hilarious. Good. Those were good times, man. Good times.
Definitely. But I'll just get back to Square Enix real quick, and then I'll let Apollo talk. So like I'll just give you like one example of the sabotage that went on with Final Fantasy XIV, right? So they make a expansion, right, that doesn't appeal to anybody, that has a main character that you must talk to all the time. You have to go through her. She's like the fucking middleman, right? She's supposed to be like, oh, my papa loves peace, kind of bullshit, right? And she has the taco of peace. That's what people call it. And this is the crazy thing. She had as much dialogue in one expansion, right? She's new to this expansion. She had as much dialogue as some characters have in 3 different expansions.
Wow.
You could see how they just wanted to force that shit on people. Like they wanted to torpedo that into people.
I believe it.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's like, this is making money, and then you do this, and everybody hates it. Everybody across the board hates it.
But they don't care. You bought it. They don't care. You already have the product. That's how they feel. You're invested. You were playing the game for 1 billion years. So you're invested now. They're like, oh, they're invested. They won't go anywhere.
Exactly. They want their new gear, their new loot, and their new gear, and Chocobo mount or something. I don't know. And
people say it, and then people will say that. Like you'll hear, like just casually talk to people in like these communities, and even like I said, even if they're not necessarily like a pro whatever bullshit they're implementing, they'll say things like, yeah, no, but I'm giving you like, this is pretty much what it'll be like. Yeah, no, but I don't really care. I just play with my new loot and ignore it. I just play this so I could get my, like you said, Chiboko, get my new armor, my new weapon. I don't really care or whatever. I don't really fucking care or whatever. Like, oh yes, but bro, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna play multiplayer anyway. I don't care if I play Gears of War for the multiplayer. I don't care about this. You know what I mean? That's how people are. That's how a lot of them are. So it kind of doesn't surprise me that they got away with that bullshit. And then to the company, they're like, well, now that we put this in the game, we're gonna get that little bit of ESG money, baby. So in their mind, everybody wins, when in reality, like they are pretty much sellout cucks, right?
Well, I mean, Supertron, he said, like, look at the
Chimera said he has to go. So thanks for stopping by, checking out the stream.
Bye.
See you later, Zeno. Catch you later, bro.
Hopefully we can have you on next time. Anything.
For sure.
Yeah, but take it easy.
Peace.
The Avengers game was supposed to be this, that was supposed to be earth-shattering, and they completely pissed that up the wall, didn't they?
Yes. Imagine a AAA modern Ultimate Alliance without the politics. What that could have been like
Yes.
as the Avengers game. Like it's an Avengers game, but it's like pretty much a spiritual Ultimate Alliance like 3 or something like that. Before, I guess now. That would have been crazy, man.
It would have sold gangbusters.
Yes. I mean, like it would have just been awesome. It would have been beautiful. Would have been good. I mean, I love Ultimate Alliance and X-Men. And X-Men Legends is also like not as appreciated as it should be. Those games are incredible. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm like a huge fan of like that kind of like format. Like, it kind of reminds me of like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, but like X-Men characters, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So those games are like sick. And now it's a shame because they basically have all the Marvel characters again, and they're not using them properly. They have the X-Men, they have all like the Marvel main guys.
Yeah.
So why they have pretty much access to Spider-Man? Why not make a fucking game, a modern version of those games?
Some doesn't know what they're doing.
Making money ain't easy, I guess.
Not for them, it isn't. Maybe another Concord will fix things, eh?
Yeah, they'll make up for the losses in loot box sales or whatever, fucking skins and shit like that.
Aye.
You could play as Stugnificent from the Boondocks in his drag attire again. All right, so Apollo, you gave your thoughts, right?
I gave a little bit of thoughts.
Okay, so go ahead. Speak. Go ahead.
Okay.
Give your speak on.
So I mean, they got FAFO'd, you know what I mean? Like, the company is like, yeah, we really don't want these diversity hires, you know what I mean? So we just want these people out of this company, Square Enix, you know what I mean? I mean, that's good, you know? I'm hoping they'll hire more South Koreans and more Japanese people. I'm just saying, those people got some talent, man. They go through college and all that stuff, you know? Or have South Korea buy out Square Enix. You know, that'd be a win for the gaming industry because I like South Korea, and so I mean, Final Fantasy would be really good if South Korea got their hands on them. But hey, if it's true they're hiring South Koreans involved in that company with the Japanese people, that's maybe a win. But we'll see what happens. I really don't know. And I see the Final Fantasy games are all on Xbox. You have Final Fantasy Online and all that stuff. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to see a lot of American game devs getting FA'd out of the company, you know? So who knows? We'll see, dude. You know what I mean.
Game companies need to do like I said, they need to do the snitching.
Oh, yeah.
They need to have the snitching policy. Microsoft wanted our game to get rid of the hot women, so we denied to put it on there and didn't want to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Then some fans would be like, whoa, that's ass. This game looked pretty good. We wanted to put Stellar Blade on Sony, but they wanted to censor our big titty bunny costume, so we said no. Damn, Sony's kind of sucks for that. All these games I like don't get on Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo because of whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I won't support them anymore. And then you create a situation where they can't get away with that bullshit anymore because they're going to want that money. Imagine how desperate they were to exclusivize Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade, for example, only to have it censored. Imagine they said no, and then no one got to play Stellar Blade on PlayStation, and then people were like, oh, wait, well, we want this game. And it just if you make the company look bad enough, eventually they will cave into stopping their bullshit because the amount of money they lose would not be worth what they're gaining in ESG bullshit.
That's true. So let's switch the panel to.
Do we give our outros or?
I mean, I figured you guys would come. I would switch you back for the last two topics.
No.
You want?
Probably gonna have to. Probably gonna.
Oh yeah, because it's late, right?
Yeah, late, but I'm gonna still listen in. I'm just
Okay.
Not gonna come back on. All right, so you can give your outro if you want. If you have a budding channel or something.
I have no channel. I just want to say that I'm me.
You're tasty.
I'm tasty, and thanks for having me on, guys. It's been
No
fun.
problem, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
Take it
Yeah,
easy.
anytime.
Always
Yeah,
good talking to you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Yep.
And sorry about what happened to New York.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Well,
Soon we'll be on talking like this.
Oh gosh.
Don't. Yeah, it's gonna get bad, bro. We all know
It is.
what $20 minimum wage. You know what that comes with? $10 milk, baby.
Mhm.
$10 gallon of milk,
Yep.
baby.
As if it's not bad enough.
Yeah,
It's like London all over again. I'm so sorry.
pretty much. You know,
Really,
honestly, yeah, pretty much, bro. But you know what? It was good having you. And when I make my Doom Boomer shooter game, that's purposely like jank shit for style, you can play it and review it. All right.
Yeah,
Sweet.
definitely.
All right, man. So, I'll catch
Video.
you. Yeah, your first video. It's jank and it's shit, but you should play it anyway because it's jank and shit. It's retro jank and shit, and it's not woke.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man.
This gun is in the shape of Biden's skull. You'll love it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Apollo, you want to give an outro or something, or are you gonna come back on?
I'm coming back on.
All right, sweet. So let's rotate the panel in and keep it going.
Indeed.
From New York to Nuevo Cuba. You're right, bro. But we saw what they did to Marvel Midnight Suns. Exactly. Pretty much. Are there 7 people waiting in the back?
7.
Jinpachi's game isn't much, but it's honest work. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
There's Apollo's waiting. There's Madar, Retro Man, Royce, and OC.
Okay, so let's get these guys on here.
Can we get all of them?
You said OC, Apollo, Retro Man, and who else?
And Royce.
All right, let's get Retro Man and Royce on here, and then we'll have Apollo and OC after. Okay, who else you said was backstage?
That was it.
That was it. So then we'll get them on after, and then we'll close things out.
All right, no problem.
And just keep in mind, everyone who comes on, when you speak.
Sorry, did I say Madar?
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Madar. Yeah, Madar as well. Yeah. Okay. So we'll have Madar come on with. So you know what? Instead, let's have Madar, Retro, and what's his name? Retro and
Royce.
And Royce. Yeah, and then we'll have at the end Apollo and OC.
Okay, no problem.
I think that works out. And just everyone who comes on, remember, be concise. Say your points. And yeah. Привет. Привет.
Hello.
Привет.
Hello. Привет, Kaxi.
Hola.
Hello guys. Welcome, Madar.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? How's everybody doing?
We're all doing good. We're all doing good. Привет.
A bit tired.
Добро пожаловать. Добро пожаловать.
Благодарю.
Okay. So, everyone, I guess they'll give your opinions on the subjects we talked about already, right? Revenant? Makes sense.
Yes.
So, we'll start with Retro. So we'll talk. Well, Retro Man, you can start. Then Madar, you will give your thoughts after, and then after Royce, we'll do it against the deep state. All right,
exactly.
So Retro Man, what are your thoughts, bro?
Let's talk about Square Enix again. So,
our favorite Square Enix.
Oh yeah. I don't think there will ever be an episode where I don't talk about Square Enix at this point. I don't know. I think it's inevitable. So from what it looks like in the news, they're just selling off like minor irrelevant assets. Like all their like actual developers and whatnot, they already sold off to Embracer ages ago. So what they're selling off right now, it seems to be stuff like localization and publishing houses. So this has been this has been a trend with Square Enix for a while. I'm just gonna rip off the Band-Aid off. They want to sell Square Enix off to someone else. They can't sustain it. I think this is the beginning of the end. If they were competent, sorry, if they were confident leaders, they would have been more like Games that like expanded outwards. Like for example, the CEO of Games America is Motohori Okubo. He was the producer of Tekken and Soul Calibur. So that's like, dominated. That's expansionistic policy. What we're seeing from Square is just selling them bit by bit.
Yeah, now it makes sense. Selling. I mean, they have those assets. It's kind of funny when you think about it, though. Like, you have all those IPs, and you'll do anything to make money except just make what people want, right? It's kind of like a weird irony, like a poetic irony to it. It's kind of like similar to Microsoft, but like smaller, to a smaller degree. Like, you have all the IPs, you have all the big names, and yet you still can't keep your company afloat because you're so focused on all these practices, services, and implementations that you forget that, hey, you're a game company, right? It's like McDonald's. If they have toys and clothes and the playhouse, but then they just stop selling burgers, at a certain point, people are going to be like, well, I want this from McDonald's. This stuff is nice, but what I care about is the fucking meat and potatoes, right? Literally. So I think that it's just kind of like to that point about Square Enix, I think it's just kind of like a reflection of their incompetence as a company.
Yeah.
Yup. And I want to add something to that. That woman from Blue Sky who celebrated Charlie Cook's death, she deserved to lose her job, what she did. Unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, if you shouldn't really mock somebody's death, even if you don't like them. Like, I look at it like, even if it happened to Joe Biden, like, or somebody like that I don't care for particularly or don't like, I wouldn't be like happy that they got killed for their political beliefs, right? Like, just like it's kind of show like that's the sign of a society that's going downward, in my opinion.
Yup.
There's a difference between like a situation where you have like strong communists where people are literally starving, like most of your population is starving, right? Like, or like a North Korea situation where it's either, you have to go to an extreme or you live under the extreme. But like when you just don't like somebody's words because they hurt your feelings and you end them, that's a whole level of like pathetic and sad that to me is an indicative of a society that's plummeting downhill. To your point, Royce. But to the Square Enix things, like I said before, like, how can you have Final Fantasy and not be doing like how can you own Final Fantasy and be failing? How can you have had access to Hitman for a while and be failing? Like, it's crazy to me. And even
I
if
can
they're
tell
not,
you, Cal.
it's kind of rhetorical. You know what I mean? It's rhetorical.
Yeah.
It's like I know why. It's like almost like, again, irony, because you buy all the irony. You buy all these companies to make more money. I mean, all these IPs, and then it has the opposite effect, right? You lose money or whatever. I don't know if they're dying or not, but when you're selling off assets, it's usually not a good sign.
Yup. And like I said, they're going to start using AI in 2027. That's what I heard from Square Enix.
Square Enix has always been obsessed with trends. They even like got into trouble for that, hopping on that NFT and crypto bandwagon,
Yup.
right? So
NFTs are dumb. I don't know how that got over, honestly. NFTs are a waste of money. A huge waste of money.
Well,
Like,
it was a huge money sink, apparently.
yeah, I mean, well, it doesn't surprise me. NFTs are like NFTs takes the cool part of collecting things and makes it like not cool. Like, that's all it is. Like, you're just collecting things, but in the shittiest way possible. Like, that doesn't matter. Because imagine like if you have like an authentic, it'll be like, imagine I have like a statuette of like, let's say some Devil May Cry statuette that's awesome, and I physically have that. And I have it in my collection and I sell it to you, it has value because of like, the nature of what it is. But if it's a digital product, I can literally just duplicate your shit and sell it or just have my own copy of it. And someone could say, well, but mine is the official one because of like the fucking blockchain means mine is real. But I'm like, yeah, but I don't fucking care because I still have it. There's no value to it. Like just saying that yours is more rare because it has the blockchain doesn't means fuck all. You know what I mean? Like that's how I look at NFTs. So, you know, at least with bitcoins and shit like that and cryptocurrency, at least they're backed by like a lot of them are backed by real money, even if it is kind of scammy, and it is scammy. But with like NFTs, they're just complete. I honestly think NFTs are pretty much exist only to be a money laundering scheme, to be frank.
I mean, there are a couple of crypto stories on fraud that I can talk to you about some other time.
Well, but like I said before, I know that they're fraudulent, bro. Like I know that a lot of cryptos are like, I mean, think about the Haktua one, for example, the pump and dumps. I know all about them. I'm just saying that like at least like Bitcoin itself and some ones are backed by real money. I don't necessarily want them for myself, but at least those you can argue are like backed by money. But like NFTs are just bullshit. Like they're total bullshit.
It is.
So
the thing is like, yeah, that's cringe. Obviously, I would say that it's equally cringe that they like dump on their second grade developers that raise the company up, like the Saga series or whatnot. They have Idos Montreal, in my opinion, also got shafted undeservedly so for like their financial incompetence.
well, especially considering their game legacy, right? Versus what happened to them. So
yeah.
All right, my dog, what are your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, I don't know much about this Square Enix stuff. So I will talk about Assassin's Creed and Saints Row, and maybe a little bit of the Outer Worlds.
Sure thing. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start with Assassin's Creed. You know, it failing. It's interesting to hear that it's failing. Not to mention that those Ubisoft bragging about 2 billion players and such, but bit suspicious that because they say players and not sales.
Yeah, that's how they usually try to get people, because they'll say that to appeal to the shills, because then they'll use that as an argument like that, as if that proves anything, and then lo and behold, turns out it didn't do very well. So all that fucking bragging and boasting about how many players didn't mean shit.
Remember
Also
Black
about the
Flag? Sorry to cut you off.
Also about the player number, like how do we know if that 2 million player even true? I mean, all we have is their word, and that isn't worth much.
Well, what does 2 million players mean, right? Like it'll be like if you're watching it, like those numbers can be, you can always warp something to be more positive. Like for example, you watch a stream and at one point in the stream it has 100 people watching for, let's say like a minute or something, and goes down, and somebody could say, well, yeah, my stream has 100 people watching in a single moment or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's true, but it's also like highly curated information. So to that point, like they could say we had 2 million players, but then if you look at the actual numbers, they could be extremely circumstantial. Like a lot of those could have been refunds. It could have been that people played for a short time. It could have been for one specific day or one specific week. It could be like so many different factors. So to say, oh, well, it's automatically doing good because it has that many people watching, it's like, I mean, or playing, it's like, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't mean it's doing well just because that number is high.
Also, to
exactly.
Your point, how many people, well, we know, Ubisoft employees fucking just sitting there at the main menu to make it be better than what it is.
You don't even have to do that anymore because now you have like bot farms. You can have you have bot farms, bro. You could do a crazy amount of shit with bot farms. So bot farms are crazy.
How many accounts do you see on X on a post? This happened with Ghost of Yote. This happened with other games too, like fairly recent games that I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a bunch of comments from these random accounts. They have pictures. It'll be like from a girl, look like she wearing a crop top or whatever the fuck. And like, I'm excited fire emoji. This is gonna be great. I'm excited. This looks good. Oh, let's fucking go. LFG, we out day one. It's like shit like that. Like, and a lot of them will say the exact same things verbatim. The
Then
same
you click,
emojis and
you click on the account. It was made this year, the last month.
Yeah,
It has
right.
zero. They're only following 2 people. One of them is a developer.
Yeah. Yeah,
You mean
right.
go
Yeah.
to Antifa? That lame ass
Yeah.
game. I didn't buy it. Thank God.
Yeah, thank
So
God.
it's
Yeah.
true. Like a lot of that shit is fabricated, bro. It's completely fabricated. A lot of it.
That's why they just talk about, oh, look how many people are playing it.
Yup.
I bet you they have a strategy where they know it ain't gonna do too well, but then they'll make it look nice.
Honestly, if the game was making crazy good money, they would announce the exact number in the sales. How many games, like when they do really well, they're like, oh, $3 million in the first week or whatever, like 3 million sales or whatever in the first couple days. Like if it's really doing good like that, they would be happily boast about the information. So the fact
Yup.
that it's kind of obscured under like, and they're saying like, oh, we were fourth in the chart, and even then, being fourth in the chart, having spent that much money on making your game is kind of crazy. It's kind of not good. So
14 what chart
Yeah.
exactly?
some like sales chart, top sales chart thing.
Yup. Look at
Square Enix used to have prolifically unreasonable financial projections. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
their stock of Ubisoft is like $6 right now. I saw their stock is so bad. Yup.
Ouch.
What? Who's stock? Ubisoft's?
Mm-hmm.
$6. You gotta buy low, sell high in 100 years.
Yup.
When the stock finally bounces back.
Yeah, they're doing so bad right now. And look at Dr. Disaster and Asmongold. We're talking about Ubisoft and them all the time. You know?
I don't even know Ubisoft being alive right now at all is kind of crazy. The fact that they can even spend that much on a game is wild.
Thank Tencent.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely spot on. Tencent.
they spent $300
Isn't that a
million.
Chinese company?
It is $300 million to make 10 cents back. That's the joke in it all. 10-cent profit, but no, like 10-cent. Like yeah, it's kind of wild, man. I honestly like. When was the last time Assassin's Creed was even good? I would argue it was pre-Origins, because I don't like Origins even. To be honest with you,
I like Black Flag better.
Black Flag is better.
I wanted to ask, did Black Flag sell better than AC Shadows?
I don't know honestly, but that would be interesting.
That would be really funny.
Once they became RPGs, they went downhill. They were already going downhill, but they really like dived deeply down. Like they threw themselves into that pit.
I think they went into the RPG direction because of, Witcher 3.
Yeah, pretty much. But also because of RPG games require a different kind of polish than action games.
Yep.
People are more forgiving to shit animations and generic gameplay when it's framed under a RPG lens. How many RPG games do you play where the fidelity is ass? When you hit enemies, the reactions are terrible, but it's not. But people accept them because they say, "Well, it's an RPG. It's not really about the high, highly cinematic or high fidelity combat." And then when you play like a game like the older Assassin's Creed, you expect all the animations to be crisp. You expect them to be, feel heavy or feel weighted or feel, like really connected when you like killing the enemies and stuff. So it's a different standard. That's why a lot of games go into the RPG route, because the RPGs have a lower standard by consumers. As long as the RPG mechanics themselves are polished, then the animations could be jank. It could look jank. Especially if it's open world and people will accept it.
Hold on. Are you describing the Division to me?
Not just the Division, bro. That's damn near like most of these modern RPG, like Western RPG games. I say Western RPGs specifically. It's like, bro.
True. Yeah.
And like that's also why Souls games, because even though Souls games, even though I do like some of them, but even Souls games, like
Yup.
there's a level of like they're easier to develop than like a game that doesn't fit that format. Like their format is like more like, even though their RPG mechanics are complex, if you like take away imagine playing a Souls game with no RPG mechanics, you'll realize that the games are very straightforward and I would argue somewhat primitive compared to other games.
Yup.
So it's just easier for them. That's why they do it. So I'm not surprised that they went in that direction, especially a company like Ubisoft.
Yup. And look at Square Enix Clair Obscure Expedition 33. They're like, oh my god, how did Clair Obscure did so well? And then Square Enix found like we should go back to the roots, how it used to be. You know?
Well, yeah, I agree. I think what Square Enix needs to do is with the Final Fantasy series to chill the fuck out and like slow down a little bit. I think they gotta like slow everything down, stop with the this is neither here nor there, but stop with the over the top like Devil May Cry style fighting, whatever. Like,
Yes.
keep it grounded. What made the old
Yup.
games fun? What made the old games fun, even though they were turn based, was that everything was grounded until you did a super move. Like, all right, you did a super move, then it got shifted to 10. But like honestly, I don't think anybody played Final Fantasy 7 back in the day and then thought like, oh, if this was live, if this was happening, like if I was watching this combat as if it was real time, Cloud would be flying through the air like Goku fighting Sephiroth. Like no one
You're
fucking
right.
thinks that. No one thinks he would.
No.
Like I think for me, when I first played that game, I imagined that the combat was more grounded until he did a super move or something. So I think that their games just feel cheap, bro. Like they gotta like slow down. They gotta slow the fuck
Yup.
down.
What people want, they want turn-based combat. They don't want watered down shit. They don't want them to try to be like a Western studio. Stop trying to be like Game of Thrones or like it's like they want to be like other companies and like borrow from other like properties from like media instead of just being themselves and doing what actually what worked before. Because now it's all about, well, what can we do? What can we capitalize on that's gonna make us the most money? Oh, well, we can barely be an RPG game. We can just have it be strictly action. We can have it play similar to Devil May Cry. We could make the themes and the pacing and all that and the characters like Game of Thrones because people like that instead of being what it should be. Because then everything
Exactly.
else suffers. You have a boring story. You have forgettable characters, boring character designs. Then you have
Yeah.
all this flashy combat where nothing matters. It feels like everything's on rails. You literally have a fucking on rails battle with Eidolons and shit.
Yup. Exactly. You don't like work. Let me give an example. Like, oh, I don't want to see a game that has preachy messages, pronouns, woke, DEI crap in it. And I'm like, I don't want to play that. I'd rather play fun, like, I don't know, old school video game doesn't have any of this crap in it. You know?
Well, look at it this way, right? Like if I told you in the 2000s, the early 2000s and 90s, if I told you to picture a Final Fantasy game in your mind, you would have a very, very specific look. So the way the characters' eyes are shaped, the hair, the excuse me, the designs, the way that the worlds look, right? Even if they're different, they kind of have like a unified kind of style to them, right? You
Yup.
have a look in your mind. Now, if I tell you nowadays to think of Final Fantasy in your head, you think about the past games and you pretty much exclude the current ones, or it's all over the place and you can't really like have a single defined image in your head. So it kind of like lost their like they kind of lost their their personality. Their personality, I would say.
May I ask?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have a question. Is it just me, or do you guys also feel we should go back to like classic Final Fantasy 6 and 9, like classic adventure with a party in a fantasy world?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind that. I don't mind them even going to Final Fantasy 8 or 7 route that are like high, like especially more so 8, where 8 is a hybrid fantasy and like modern,
Steampunk.
you know,
Steampunk.
kind of like steam. Well, it's kind of sometimes. I would say sometimes it's steampunk because sometimes it is, and other times it feels like fantasy. You know,
Yeah.
I can't like when you said steampunk, I was like, yeah, kind of, but not always. You know, not always.
Yeah.
But they should definitely go back to that style because I think that like also the games themselves are so muted. They're so muted in like color as well, like the color grading, that I strongly dislike how they look visually. Like I don't know if you guys have seen 16 or even 15, but I feel like the color grading is like way too boring, you know? Like it doesn't have punch. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll put it this way. When you play Final Fantasy 9 or 8 or even 7 and you look at the world, the architecture, the art design, and you like look at it, you kind of feel like you're looking almost like at like a storybook or something. I don't know if you guys know what I mean. Like you're looking at like
No,
this
that's true. Yeah.
this storybook look, and now when I look at them now, they look like generic Unity assets. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Watch it, that's true because it has that spirit like you're living in a fable.
Exactly. You're living in a
Yeah.
fantasy. You're living literally in a. I mean, it's called Final Fantasy, right? And you live like you're
Yeah.
living in a fable and a fantasy, and now they just kind of look like fucking generic anime slop, like
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
with muted color gradation, which is horrible.
Mhm.
Something
Which
to
is what.
consider.
Yeah, and
Sorry,
no,
Yeah.
you're right.
something to consider. Notice that Square Enix is like being a lot more postmodern over the years.
Of course,
Mhm.
of course.
Mhm.
I think that damages the brand, the creativity in a sense.
It does, but remember,
it does.
think about the people who were designing the original games in the '90s up to the early to mid 2000s, and then think about like how they were much older people who grew up with exposed to different media, right? Like they
Yeah.
grew up exposed to like Japanese folklore, shit like that, and stuff of that nature, fairy tales, shit like that. And then you look at the modern games. A lot of these guys are much younger. They grew up with like didn't grow up with the same kind of fantasy stories. Like kids nowadays don't even grow up with like fantasy like that anymore. And like if you look at that difference, that's why the games also feel different. You have different people working on them. That's why to me Nomura is a fucking hack. Because to me
Can't
the reason
stand
why
Yes.
Nomura is so bad is because he knows better. He should know better. Like he's from that era
I
and he knows
disagree.
better.
I
He
disagree.
he should know better and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Sakaguchi, after he left Square, he made Miss Walker Studios, and he created what was it called, Lost Odyssey,
Yes.
Okay.
right? Was that the name?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Lost
So
Odyssey.
you can see that all the good influence in Square was ported over to the new studio, Miss Walker. Nomura
Well,
didn't achieve shit.
no. But you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm not saying Nomura is the reason why. I'm not saying Nomura is the reason why those games were good. I'm saying that he was around in an era where he knows firsthand what those games should be
Ah,
like. You understand? Like he
Yeah.
knows better because he's from those old era. I'm not saying he was the guy who made those games great. I'm saying that he was around and knows better, and that's what makes it worse because he's a fucking hack. You get what I'm saying?
okay,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
As
Yeah.
the years have gone by, as he's like ranked up in positions in the company, it's gotten worse. Like
it's like
when you think about it, like you can
yeah,
tell like he's not a good like leader or a good like guy to
designer,
like
main designer. He's
designer
not.
or he's not. He's better as more of like, no offense to those people who are in that position, but more of like the background guy who does, or what he did before. He was involved. I think he did like monster designs or character
Yes.
Just
like
he's
designs.
he's good
probably
at
better off just doing that.
he's good at creating the things under other people's behest as rather leading the show. That's really what
Yes.
he would be better at. And
Like,
also,
really, he can't. Look what he's done with Kingdom Hearts.
and what I was,
With
and
the last
Yeah.
numbered one.
a good way to word it would be like a person who's a musician and he grows up around Mozart and people like that, and then when he's in charge he makes fucking mumble rap. That's who Nomura is to me. Like he's the guy who grew up who was working around greats and then he made trash despite being exposed to greats, right? That's kind of
Yeah.
how I look at it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know
Exactly.
Kingdom Hearts is the worst, bro. That convoluted, like that's like fan fiction,
Exactly.
convoluted. Like, and it's not convoluted in that it's hard to understand. People say, "Oh, that means it's too hard to understand for you." Like, no, bro, I understand it. It's just fucking stupid. It being hard to understand, it being stupid doesn't mean it's hard to understand. Like, you can have something convoluted and it be like easy to process, right? And when I played Kingdom Hearts, bro, like after Kingdom Hearts, I would say Kingdom Hearts 2. Everything after Kingdom Hearts 2 is pretty much like ridiculous bullshit. Like total bullshit. So I'm not a fan of his. I'm definitely not a Nomura guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because you
Like I
can't,
said, look at
because bro, come on, like Kingdom Hearts, man, like look, you can't Kingdom Hearts is pretty much any like a good writer knows when not to like make a convenience, right? Like they could say, well, I could write it that, for example, the Suicide Squad beats Batman because he's controlled by Brainiac, and then he kind of like, he gives up, and then he's kind of like, you can basically write anything to work if you're creative enough. However, just because you can make something work because you wanted to doesn't mean that you should, because you have to respect the story that you're writing. Otherwise, it becomes convoluted and retarded. And unfortunately, Kingdom Hearts has become like retarded. Like, oh, that wasn't really Sora. That was actually this character. That wasn't really the fucking the 13. That was actually this because of this reason. It's like, bro, like please make it more clear that you're making it up as you go. Like, yeah, you can make it.
ACZ made a good point about with Nomura. He said Nomura is an expert on characters with more belts than common sense. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Character design is fucking is ass too. It's just fucking like something an edgy teenager in the early 2000s would come up with, and he stuck with that for a while. It even feels out of place even in the remake of 7.
The remake of
I forgot
7,
the character's name. It was
the
like
remake of
some
7 is
guy.
ugly. That's an ugly game. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. That game is ugly looking. You have like anime. You have Final Fantasy 7 anime looking ass characters. You have the designs from 7 that carried over to some degree. Then you surround them by generic Unreal Engine assets, bro. Make it make sense to me.
Like I said, I'd rather play Duck Off. Escape from Duck Off is better, or Still Up Late or something. Come on now.
Bro, remember what was it? I haven't beaten a game in a couple years again now. What was the original area called in 7 Revenant? You'll know.
Which one?
Midgar.
Oh.
Midgar. And when you're into, what is it, the slums and whatever?
Yeah,
compared to
different sectors, yeah.
Compared to the sectors and slums in the original, how they had all that personality, and then play the remake, bro. The remake, they just look like generic Unreal like Engine worn down assets.
Yeah, it's generic. It looks like something out of Fallout. But
Yeah,
it's like
so boring.
Random town you find in Fallout 4.
And now think about the NPCs, how the NPCs used to visually match with the characters, right? And then you looking at the NPCs in 7 Remake, and they look like they're from a different game, bro. Like it looks. That game is hideous looking, bro. Some of the monster designs look alright. I'll give them credit there. Some of the monsters look fine, but boy, like that game's so inconsistent visually.
Yeah, you mean ugly characters? Ugh.
Well, it's not just that they're ugly; it's also like they don't match. Like they look like they're from a different game.
Yep.
Which is weird. That's a weird thing to do. But that's neither here nor there. So anyway, Royce, you want to give your thoughts on Square Enix, then we'll move on to the next subject, and then we'll switch out.
My thoughts on Square Enix. I'm glad they're firing all these people from United States and United Kingdom. They deserve it.
Hold on, that wasn't Sora. That was his crystal memory from the rare Game Boy Advance game you didn't play. Exactly.
Exactly, based.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and I'm glad Square Enix going back to Japan. They should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah.
And my thoughts on Saints Row. Yup. And I have a thoughts with Saints Row. I hope they go in the 70s where Julius Little and Benjamin King. I want to see that character of them along with this Angela woman who was Benjamin King's girlfriend. All of it to be a good story for Saints Row prequel.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's actually a good idea. If they were to do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it would be a waste to like not do anything with those characters, but especially if they're going, that far back. So why not? You could still have
do a
you could still have an original
1970s
cast
Vice
too.
King, bro.
Yeah, there you
Am
go.
I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give us that
I mean,
prequel. And but
No, I was gonna say like you're pretty much on the money with that. Like as far as like what they should do, what they could do to like tell a good, interesting story that will also tie into obviously Saints Row 1 and onward. So
yeah, exactly. Give us Benjamin King, 1970s, along with Julius Little and Angela, all of it, so I can see how it is. Give us 1970s Vice King and
and that
Lost
would,
Canales.
and that would make so much sense. Like seeing those characters, how they like were together, like how they pretty much were like the original crew, kind of similar to your boys in the first two games. But like now, like pretty much they fill the same roles, but they're just like them. That's such a cool way to tie the series together.
Exactly. They were best friends in the 70s, and then Julius left, and Benjamin took over the whole gang.
Yeah.
That's a good story tone, huh?
And there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room there to like show how him and King had that falling out before he even left. You can do so much with that.
Yeah. And Benjamin King had a sister too when she died. Angela, her name was. Because in Saints Row 4, there was a memory in the past saying, oh, this girl, Angela, Julius Little, know in the past, she should never get involved in the gang, get killed. Like, damn.
Yeah, they can bring her up too. They can actually do something with that character instead of it just being reduced to what was in 4.
Now, my question would be is what they would do with the created character you play as. Like, would he just be like one of the people that joins, so you're kind of like watching things through like a third party, like eye, kind of like how the first two games are?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Because I feel like at the end of the game, you would have to write the created character out of the story. So it makes sense. Because if you don't, then you're going to wonder, like, who was this guy? Why he's never mentioned in Saints Row 1 or 2. So you would have to make it that maybe something dirty happens to him. He goes to jail or he gets shot. Maybe he dies. That'd be interesting. Have him die. That'd explain why he ain't there no more.
And Hector from Los Canales mentioned his dad. His dad was a leader of the Los Canales. Give us that story. That'll be crazy, huh, guys?
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
all these ideas they can do. So hopefully, if they do go in that direction,
but we know what they'll do. We know what they'll really do.
They're gonna try. They're gonna
subvert.
They're gonna try to subvert everything, and
you're gonna see to cover the game. She's gonna have her bull ring nose and her
septum nose ring and ugly blue hair, pink hair, ugly women.
She's gonna have the fucking Jake Mueller buzz cut. Like
she have a mole in her face.
Ugh. Hell no. Chris Stockman. Chris Stockman. He said it's not going to be the reboot timeline. I'm like, thank God it's not going to be the reboot timeline.
You're going to have Juliana, what's his name? What's Julius's last name again?
Little?
Yes, Juliana Little. She's going to be played by Deborah Wilson. His surviving sister.
Hell no. Not Deborah Wilson effect. Get that woman out. I don't want to see her ugly ass.
You're gonna find out that she was the one advising Julius from behind the scenes the whole time.
Yeah,
she's the mastermind.
God.
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
Oh hell no! I have a message with Chris Stockman. Do not do the woke shit. Please put it 1970s Saints Row, man, because he was the creator of Saints Row 1.
Yeah, he was the designer. But
yeah,
let's make things worse. The default female character can be voiced by Erika Ishii.
Oh hell no! Get that bitch out of here.
By her too. Get the shaved head, like you said, Jinpachi. She'll have the shaved head in the box art and everything. She'll have that big old fucking inflated face.
Oh hell no!
And then you can bring back all the Saints Row Reboot fans out the woodwork again, and they'll be like,
hell no! Fuck those Reboot fans.
You're a hater.
Oh, you're a hater and Chud and Gooner. I'm like, so what? That's an honor. I don't give a shit. Boy. I don't care about Gooner and Chud.
For harassing us.
Royce is like, your terms are acceptable.
Exactly. That's my term.
Royce gives them the Sydney Sweeney face.
Exactly. Oh my God. What do you think about this, Retro Man?
Well, here I'm not the biggest fan of of the Saints Row series, but I'll just rip off the Band-Aid apart. So
Okay.
obviously they're chasing trends. They want that GTA money,
Yeah.
and I think that's what they're banking on GTA, but with $10 cheaper. If
Yeah.
they had balls, if they had balls, they would have reverted back to OG Saints Row, or even
Agreed.
maybe something
Yup.
like Hotline Miami, make it brutal,
Oh hell
make it
yeah.
wild. That would be interesting, but I doubt it. I doubt it. It's an obvious cash grab. They're desperate. They need something.
Well,
Something
Yeah.
you
for
know
new
what it is?
investors.
Everybody wants the GTA bucks, but they don't want to do the GTA work, you know?
True.
Look
That's
at
how it works on that too.
Nada, for example. That's an anime GTA, and look how perfect it is.
Yeah. That being said, I am worried about GTA 6. I'm strongly worried about it, and I have a very bad feeling about it, honestly.
Yep.
Me
And here's the
too.
news, boys. They delayed to November 19th of next year.
I think when GTA 6 releases, it's gonna definitely have like some woke shit in there. And when
Oh
it
god.
does, people are gonna basically use that to be the de facto thing saying woke doesn't matter. You know, they're gonna that's gonna be the de facto argument. Well, woke doesn't
Oh
matter
yeah.
because people still bought GTA 6. Because I guarantee, bro, you got to think about it
GTA
from like
5
from the
and Red Dead Redemption 2 had some woke things
I
too.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
100%
Uh,
agree with you about both those games. And RDR2 in the latter half of the game, the third act of the game, is completely woke. It's like actually
Yeah.
completely woke. The third
It's
part of
like
the game,
someone
yup.
else
the
just
third act.
came in and
Yep.
started like writing
Yeah,
the
yeah, it
last
really
act of the
feels like
game.
that. It feels like somebody like snatched the notebook from the dude like in the second after the second act and just started like writing whatever they wanted to. Like it's
Some
crazy.
blue hair, nose ring, bull nose,
But
fucking.
but
Yup.
but I think GTA 6, you got to understand, we're in 2025, and again, I'm not against a female character, especially because the what's her name again? Lucia.
Lucia.
Lucia
Yeah.
is not ugly. You know, she looks pretty good for the most part. She looks okay, but because
She
it's
has an
2020,
ass.
she does,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
she
yeah,
got
she
them,
definitely
and
did.
she got them das. Anyway, but yeah, so point is that 2025, you have a female protagonist, and she's basically in the first shit that they showed. It seemed like she was the one who was kind of like leading Jason around. Like she was the one who got him into like the life of that. She's the one who's in prison who did the hard time or whatever. Like I think they're gonna make her like the one like calling the shots as opposed to like a typical Bonnie and Clyde where it's like the man who kind of like gets the girl into it. And I think that it's gonna have just girl ball shit. Even if it's not directly woke and it's too preachy, I feel like it will 100% be a girl boss centric game. I just
I have a
sense that
good.
that's what they're gonna do. And
I'd rather
and
play Jason, man. I'd rather play Jason is better. Look at Jason, masculine, six pack. The women love
yeah,
him. I'd rather play as Jason than Lucia.
and
Come on,
honestly,
now.
I feel like Jason's probably gonna get cucked in the game. I'm look. I'm gonna say
Oh
it now
hell
as a
no.
prediction. I'm gonna say it now as a prediction. I bet there's gonna be parts in the game where she cheats on him. He has to get over the fact that she cheated on him, or something like
Yup.
that. I really think that's the direction they're gonna go. Like I think it's gonna have like progressive girl boss themes and shit. But the
Uh.
game, but it won't be all the game is about. I think the game will generally probably be good, but that'll be a part of it, which will basically lead to the divide of people saying like, oh well, it has some woke stuff, but it's not that bad, and it's gonna be the woke people saying that. Basically, the centrists are gonna be like, well, it has some woke shit, but it's not that bad. You should buy it. It's not serious. Don't listen to people, anti woke people, whatever. Buy it. Then you're gonna have the people that are woke that are gonna say, well, this game is this game shows that people want woke games, even though they're forgetting that it really is going to sell because it's GTA. And then the people that are anti-woke are going to be like, yeah, there's progressive bullshit in there, but people are not going to want to listen to them because it's GTA 6. And
Yup.
again, I could be wrong. I could be
Mm-hmm.
completely wrong, and I
Yup.
hope I'm completely wrong. But I strongly feel that's the direction that game's going to go in.
Yup.
One thing is for certain: your wallet is gonna get cooked.
That's true. Your wallet, if you buy that game,
Yup. $100. Exactly what Retro Man said. Your
your
wallet's gonna
wallet,
get so cooked.
your wallet's going to be left with some micros hairs after that. After it goes in dry like that.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we'll see, bro. I hope it's not. I hope that everything I'm saying is turns out to be completely unfounded and I'm like wrong and I can be provably wrong. That'll be the best case scenario is that I'm completely wrong and GTA 6 is awesome. But I just
Yeah.
have a feeling that that's where it's heading in, and I think that
About
the
girl
trailers and
boss
shit.
stuff.
Yup.
What do you mean?
About the girl boss stuff.
Yeah,
Actually, in the second
yeah.
trailer, you can spot something that might be considered girl boss. There is a moment in the second trailer where Lucia is fist fighting with a muscular woman, like this female bodybuilder. She's fist fighting with a muscular woman.
Yup, I
Well,
saw the trailer of
at
that.
least it was a woman.
It looks like
Yeah.
a woman, sound like a woman.
At least it was
Duh.
at least it's a woman if she's fighting a woman. But we'll see how it goes because again, I could be wrong, but I really feel like that's what they're gonna do. It's gonna have some progressive shit in it because GTA 5
Also about
and
the
RDR2 both did.
also
Yeah.
about the woke stuff, you read that too.
Yeah.
One
You know,
example is there in a side quest you can meet a crossdresser called
Yes.
Margaret.
Yes.
oh my god.
And the funny thing is, if you point your gun at him, you cannot kill him.
No.
You know,
That's the one that wants you to get the
crossgun turns
feathers,
it
right?
blank.
That's the one that wants you to get the feathers, right?
Yup.
I don't know. It's
Something
with
like that. Isn't there something like that? You got to get
no, I think
feathers
it's
for
with
them.
a circus or something. Like it's a crossdresser.
Yeah, it's a
Margaret.
cross-dresser, and then they're like the person talks about how like they've been doing that forever, and they want you to get like feathers for their clothing to make clothing or some shit like that. It might have
I
been a
don't
different game
remember.
I'm thinking of, but there was something like that in there.
Yeah. Like I said, it's crazy. And they're gonna put the trucking, just like in San Andreas mission of the trucking, they're gonna bring it back to GTA 6 on it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I will see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It might. I feel like it might satirize and have like a little bit of both because you're gonna probably have like it's Miami, so you're gonna have the Instagram thoughts and shit portrayed through the game.
Oh
You're
yeah.
gonna have all that stuff. So I know they're gonna do that, but I feel like narratively it is gonna have like some progressive shit with the story with Lucia.
Not only that, they're gonna put like Uber app style and OnlyFans style. They're gonna put Paris Hilton and all these celebrities in the game. Crazy.
Ugh.
Ugh, I know.
So all right, we talked about that subject. I think we can like switch out the panel and move on, right?
Yeah.
Wait
Are
a
we missing
minute.
anything?
I still didn't talk about Outer West 2 and the Saints Row reboot.
Okay, go ahead.
Before that, one last thing I want to say about Assassin's Creed is the, historical accuracy argument. Like before the Assassin's Creed released, people like Carl One, like he was a lead director or something. He said they wanted to make Shadows the most authentic game as possible. What do they do? Like they put Chinese architecture in a game about Japan and like making Yasuke the main character. And what's funny about Yasuke is that
Yasuke?
yeah, is that Shadows did the same thing with historical accuracy like KCD2, meaning
Yeah.
that they only care about historical accuracy as long as it's convenient to them.
Well,
Yeah.
as long as it doesn't offend them, that's all.
Yeah,
as
you're
long as
right.
it's convenient.
Yeah, Madar, you're right about that. It's the history inaccuracy you're saying. They don't want to do real accurate of real history of it.
Yeah. For
Yeah, well,
example,
I mean, like it's when it's convenient, right? Like if you're in
Yeah.
an 1800s game, like RDR2, they don't want to, it's supposed to be historically accurate to some degree until they don't like how women are portrayed, so they got to make a few girl bosses,
yeah.
Yeah, and about
So-
RDR, they're making another one, and it's in pre-production right now. And the story is going to be based on after Arthur Morgan's era.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna do a early World War One era RDR.
Oh yeah, they are. Oh yeah, I'm seeing that for real.
Like their early 1920s, or like maybe like just before the 1920s,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah,
But,
it's going to be Jack Marston.
Maybe Depression era or something like that.
Yeah,
But
it's going to be
so-
Jack
$20.
Marston.
What happened?
Go ahead, Retro Man.
No, nothing.
What did you say?
Sounds like a great game for $100 price tag.
Oh yeah, 100, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
bro,
sorry.
well, don't apologize. I'm with you. I would never pay $100 for a game. Period. If
Hell
every
no,
game,
me neither.
if every game becomes $100, I'm playing all of them 3 years later at a fraction of the price. I'm okay with that.
Same thing. I'm gonna join your wagon, Jim Pachi. I'm not gonna spend $100. Hell no.
Assuming it's not woke, assuming they're not woke, of course, it'll be new to me. It'll be fucking new to me if I play it 3 years later. So
You know what? I'd rather play South Korea or Chinese video game than that $100 crap.
true. So all right, and Madar. So you said Saints Row, right? What do you want to say about Saints Row? So we can move on.
The one last thing about Assassin's Creed, like the defenders of it used the AC was never historically accurate, and that's true to a degree. But the thing is, previous AC games before Origins were at least try to be somewhat grounded in history,
Yeah.
even when like the piece either technology,
Yeah.
those things
It had some basis
very
in
minimal
reality.
in
Like
the game.
it just recontextualized history to fit their fictional narrative, as opposed to the current games where they warp history to fit their social justice narratives, which is the difference. It's
Yeah.
like different. It's like saying Da Vinci invented more advanced technology that he did, versus like a game saying, well, this character did this because she was like actually more progressive than everyone else and shit like that. Like there's a difference in
Making yourself
philosophy.
the savior of Japan, even
Yeah.
though he realized he was basically a nobody.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just a way to ration, like it's a way to recontextualize it to whatever their goals are, as opposed to, like I said, the original Assassin's Creed, where it felt more like historical fiction to make it feel like more plausible, like almost like into conspiracy territory. Like, oh, what if the Pope's staff was actually alien tech, and what if the Apple of Eden was some alien like mind control, or like it's just like a fun way to recontextualize it, as opposed to saying, like I said before, like, oh well, actually, in Japan, the savior of Japan was a black lesbian, and that's a whole different like thing, So
Yeah. And
But
not
all
only
right,
that, they were also canceled Assassin's Creed Civil War. So you know about that situation.
yeah. So, Madar, you want to talk about Saints Row before we move on, because we got to keep it moving.
Saints Row and a bit of Outerverse. A bit about the Outerverse 2. Last week I tried to play the game, but because I like the first one, but it runs so poorly due to everyone's favorite engine, Unreal Engine 5.
It's not. You're saying it's not. You're saying it's an Unreal Engine 5 unoptimized game. Never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Never heard of that before. All right,
it ran so badly, like it loaded more like it took like half an hour to load a level.
Holy shit!
Even then, there were still textures popping in, and when I moved too fast, the level didn't load it.
That's weird.
Had this this circle moving in the middle of the screen.
Unreal Engine
circle.
I think sometimes the more an engine does for you, the more technical skill you abandon to let the default tools do the work to do that same work. And by doing that, you end up in a situation where your game is like not optimized properly, because limitations in a way that older game engines had, they kind of force developers to have to be more careful and creative. But the more like tools do a lot of the work for you, the more like you leave it up to like hoping the engine works as intended. I don't think all Unreal Engine 5 games are automatically bad. I think a lot of, because I like Unreal, there's a lot of Unreal Engine 3 and 4 games that I love too, but I think that it's just a thing that it's so accessible that you get a lot of crap coming out of the game industry from them, because more people have Unreal Engine 5, right? Like it's not as exclusive, it's not as much of a small club. So of course you're going to have like more like garbage come out as well.
Yep. Exactly. Like look what happened with Assassin's Creed Civil War.
Yeah. So some Unreal Engine 5 games are like can be really good. You won't even know. Like I think Stellar Blade was made on Unreal Engine 5, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Was it made on 4? Was it made?
I
On
think
4?
it was 4.
Okay, well, regardless, a ton of games are made on Unreal Engine 5 and they don't necessarily look like Unreal Engine 5 games. It's just that people are fucking lazy and they use, if you have a tool that allows you to be lazy, it's going to basically have more people make lazy crap with it. Like, for example, AI. AI can actually be a good tool if used as a tool to help you. But if you use it to do everything for you, then you're going to produce the same homogenized crap as everyone else, right? So, for example, if you're writing a story and you have the AI write most of the story for you and it's doing everything for you, then everyone else's story is made in the same way as yours is going to have similar like AI language, like AI talk, like AI cadence. So that's just how it is, when you have a homogenized tool, it's going to do that. And that's why like games like older games like, for example, GTA 4, where the physics are and Max Payne, where the physics are like more custom made for the purpose that they were, it's not using as much of a generic physics engine. It feels different, right? As opposed to other games at the time. Like if you play GTA 4, the ragdoll feels different than pretty much anything else at the time. And same with Max Payne. So
I played Max Payne 3.
So Max Payne 3 has great physics and it also has like bullet hole damage and shit like that. So the more the engine does the work for you, the less customized it is. The less customized it is, the less your inputs going into it. The less your inputs going into it, the less you're probably understanding of the inner workings. Thus more bugs, thus more glitches, thus more generic tools being used, more generic assets being used. And again, like I said, I don't want to say it's bad. It's not automatically bad. It's just poorly used, in my opinion. It's just poorly used and accessible to a lot of people.
Exactly.
Some Indian kid right now could download Unreal Engine 5 and make a meme game right now and post that shit on Steam. And that doesn't mean that I'm just using Indian kids as an example because they could be like poor in India somewhere. And they could make a game and post that shit on fucking Steam. And it could be a steaming pile of shit, no pun intended. And that doesn't necessarily reflect Unreal Engine, right?
Yeah, you're talking about Unreal Engine. Look at Dispatched. It used Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah.
Dispatched is that.
Okay, somebody said Stellar Blade is Unreal Engine 4. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I thought it was 5.
I thought it was 5 as well. But still, like, if regardless of the fact, it's about the artist, not the tool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of artists, the visuals of the Outerverse 2, I'm not very pleased about that either. For example, like the weapons and the architecture, like it's kind of deviated from the first game. It's a bit more, steampunk-like. Meanwhile, the first game was, the steampunk elements were, less steampunk-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You know what I want them to do? This is kind of neither here nor there because you just got me thinking about it. Well, I was actually thinking about it for a while. Somebody should, if they redo Doom 1 and 2 with modern tech, they should use a brutalist art style so that they could keep the blockiness but have an in-world reason as to why things are blocky. And it would have like a really like surreal look to it, I think, which would be cool.
I love surrealism.
So imagine like, for example, you know how in Doom 1 and 2 you have those like blocky ass caverns that like clearly like, that's obviously would not be naturally formed. Maybe in like a remake of Doom 1 or 2, the caves are formed, the caverns by technology that's like square shaped drills. So the caverns are like realistic caverns, but they have like square tunnels, kind of simulating the original games. Like you're using brutalism as an excuse to keep the identity and visual aesthetic of the original Dooms. And then you just put some beautiful lighting on there, some good looking models, slowed down gory gameplay. Like I think that would be fucking awesome. This is kind of random, but I've been playing with that thought lately.
Yeah. Like I said, Dispatch, the new game, is used on Unreal Engine 4.
Okay. Gotcha.
The thing is, the first Outer was also used on Unreal Engine 4. And what's funny is that game ran perfectly on my PC.
Well, you could tell when a game's made on Unreal Engine 3 and 4 because there's like a fatness to the models. Like they kind of have like those like Gears of War builds, bro. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like if you play like if, for example, if you play Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, if you really look at the models, they're kind of built like Gears of War characters.
Yeah.
Yup.
You know, like the big ass feet, big hands, chunky ass. Like everyone looks like they're like a bodybuilder. You know, like Jim. Like look at Jim Gordon in Arkham Asylum, bro, and you can't tell me that's not a Gears of War build.
Yep.
Hell, even the way that like the enemies, like Killer Croc and Bane, run at you, almost look identical to how a Berserker chases you in Gears. So
Yep.
kind of crazy.
Now, I will talk about Saints Row, and then I will go. By the way,
Okay,
wait a minute.
I'm gonna need you to press 2x on your speech for the rest.
By the way, in case you're wondering, my icon is a character I made in Saints Row 4. Can you guess who I'm based it on?
Oh.
Bruce Wayne,
No.
Tom Cruise.
Don't you see the mustache?
Oh, I couldn't see it actually because I'm on my phone.
It's a pretty mustache. Very artistic.
No.
You know what? I know who it is. I know who it is.
Hell no.
Madar. It's a guy. It's a guy who's gonna talk about Saints Row.
Yeah.
Oh, the mustache looks like I don't want to say it, the Fewer. Is that
The
him?
H-man. You can call it the H-man.
Yeah.
The
And
H
the
man.
funny thing is, Saints Row 4, you can give your character a H-man mustache.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
It is. Looks nice.
Yeah.
All right. So all right, let's talk about that because we got to move on. We've been lagging on it.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know much about this new Saints Row game. It's gonna take place in the 70s. I'm might interested because, as I said in the previous comment, I wanted a GT or GTA-like game that takes place in the 70s because that decade is, rarely explored. The closest thing to a 70s GTA is the Mafia 3 game that took place in the late 60s, early 70s, but that one, wasn't very good. Mafia 3.
Yeah.
At least the Mafia, the old country, did well because I saw Leo Galante. I saw these 1 and 2 characters in it of the younger self. It did really well. Really well.
Gaming needs a renaissance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
Yeah.
It needs a renaissance of fresh ideas, different gameplay, like recontextualizing old ideas. Like it needs an enema. It's like you remember Joker in the first Batman. The city needs an enema. This industry
Yeah.
needs a fucking enema, bro.
Exactly. Let's say Blue Falcon has Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde and Blue Falcon are what? Longtime enemies?
Yeah.
That's example right there.
Who
You
are
imagine Blue Falcon
and
video
Mr.
game.
Hyde? Who are they?
Yep.
Most of the innovation is happening in indie right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one game that I really liked was Sinking City. For all its jank and shit, I like that. Like you had to look things up in the library yourself. There was no map. You had to like actually look at street signs and shit. Oh no, there was a map, but you had to basically know street signs. There was no like GPS. You had to like know what to look for in the library to get information. Talk to like it was so immersive that even though it was janky, it felt different for me. And
Yeah.
I want games to feel different again like that, where like they're not just homogenized, slop and trash anymore. Because the fact, and I'm willing to take some jank with that. Yeah, I'll take some jank if you're doing something really different and fun. But anyway, let's move on. Revenant, I don't know if you can hear. We have to switch things up because we have to move on. We're already 3 hours in, and we had the goal to end it at around 3 hours. So we have a couple more people. We got to be fair to them. So
Yep.
All right.
I have work today at 5 o'clock in 2 hours to get ready for work,
yeah. So but don't worry. I mean, like I think you kind of hit the point with it with Saints Row and what you wanted to get off your chest. So
Yeah.
you're free to come on next time and talk more. But yeah, we got to keep things moving. So
Yeah, I'll
Revenant,
talk more. And I want to introduce myself. My name is Royce.
Okay.
And my channel is on YouTube or X. I'm gonna look at insider gaming news, see what's going on with the gaming world, and let you guys know.
All right. Appreciate it, Royce.
Awesome.
And
No
appreciate you
problem.
coming
Hell
on
yeah,
again.
Royce. Always good to have you on, and hope to see you again soon, bro.
Yeah,
Yep.
me too, man. I'll let you know what games I bought, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let us know next time. That'll be fun.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Take it easy.
Yep.
Indie loves to copy. Look at the red ocean of 2D play. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of like copy games in indie, but there's also a lot of innovation there too. You're more likely to find
Red
innovation.
Ocean?
You're most likely to find innovation in the indie, more likely rather,
Yeah.
as opposed to the AAA industry. So while I agree with you, there are a lot of indie devs making fake Souls games and shit like that. There is also a lot of games that are completely different to anything you'll buy on a console. To be fair, AAA games rather. So I agree, but also I still think that's where the innovation's happening. And all right, so there's no more subjects, right, Revenant?
Yeah.
Those were all of them.
Yeah, we got through them, but
Okay,
Apollo
so
and
no, I know
OC
that. I know that. I just want to make
Okay.
sure that we got through them. So
All right.
Yeah, we did.
all right, so Madar, give your outro. Retro Man, you could give your outro, and then we'll switch to the last people.
All right. Before I give my outro, one last short thing about Saints Row. Like, I don't really have high hopes with this new Saints Row. Like, the Saints Row reboot from 2022, I actually played it. Like, I
Ugh.
played it twice. Mainly because in the story there is a, choice. There is this villain called, bad guy called Marshall. The choice is that, at a certain point of the game, you can either kill him or let him live. But as I suspected, killing him or letting him live, doesn't change anything because after that point, you will never see him again. So,
Of course, to just
Yeah.
should
give,
be
give you
included.
fake choices.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Not to mention that the character creator was very weird because my first character was, a blonde woman who had a British accent. The second character was a blonde guy. He had a Southern accent and a Hawaiian shirt.
Imagine the horror. You go to Europe, you meet a really hot, blonde, blue-eyed British woman with a sweet-ass voice, and then you talk to her for an hour and you realize she's a fucking insane liberal leftist who's calling for the country to be flooded by illegals.
What about the British woman with a Cockney accent?
Same situation, except with a Cockney accent.
One last thing about the character creator is that I tried to play it a third time and I wanted my character this time to be, a chola. I tried to make a good-looking chola, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make her look good.
That's of course. That's the nature of the engine, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was never an option. Peace was never an option, bro. So all right, let's switch it up. Madar,
Yeah.
give your outro, then Retro Man, and then we'll move on.
Yeah,
Well,
have
I'm
you on the dark.
Modar Pauser, and I have a small YouTube channel with, I think, 5 videos. And,
Okay.
Well, see you guys next time.
It's good to have you on, and yeah, everyone check out Madar's channel, and
Yeah.
if you like it, subscribe, and yeah, it's awesome. It was good
I
having
have to
you.
go there because I have 6 billion things to do.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
Yeah.
Have a good one, bro.
Yeah,
See ya.
take it easy, Madar.
All right, Retro Man, do your thing, bro.
Retro Man.
So I have a game dev and gaming channel. It's all for fun, but it's November, so the month is hell for me. Instead, I want to give a shout out to one of the channel's inspirations, Electric Underground. He's a big fan of Team Ninja and Irigaki, and he's gonna make he's going to revisit Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. So shout
Awesome.
out to Electric
nice.
Underground. Go watch his stuff. Way better.
Sweet.
I mean, way better than anyone. Good night, everyone. Have fun.
All right, Retro
All
Man.
right.
Take it easy.
See ya.
Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
For sure. Sweet. Thanks again, bro. So all right, now let's get Apollo and Octo, and then we'll end things.
Oh, can you
Okay,
hear me?
we can hear you. Welcome, welcome.
All right.
So, what we're gonna do is Apollo's gonna give his final thoughts on the last subjects because he was here earlier.
OC. It sounds like you're on a mountaintop.
It sounds like you're being
Oh, yeah.
electrocuted, bro.
All right, hold on.
All right, that's much better. So, Apollo, you're gonna give us your thoughts
Yeah.
on the subjects you didn't get to, and
Right.
then OC, you'll have the floor. You'll be able to talk about the subjects, but obviously, just keep it a little bit rapid fire because we're already 3 hours in. All right.
Yes.
So, everybody, go ahead. So, Apollo, go ahead. You can do your thing.
Assassin's Creed thing. I tell you this, Ubisoft is done for. They're done. They're completely done for. One of the Ubisoft devs are all bragging like, "Look at this, man! Like this is pretty good," and all that stuff, bragging about. I'm guessing about how much money people bought for Assassin's Creed Shadows, like like the money stocks and all that stuff. This is bragging about it. I mean, that's nothing to brag about because your stock price is not looking good, like the stocks and all that stuff. I mean, you shouldn't be bragging about something because your company is on edge right now. Somebody maybe like Elon could just buy out your company, turn around. Well, the funny thing is, but Tencent owns the Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and then some other the Far Cry, and it's
Excuse
funny
me.
seeing what's going on with Ubisoft Assassin's Creed. One of the big time names that was involved with this Assassin's Creed Shadows, I guess, left or got fired. I forgot the name of the guy. Not too sure. Big name guy left out of the company or got fired. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, I mean, FAFO for Ubisoft. And then with Outer Worlds 2, there's no hope for Outer Worlds 2.
No.
I can say is Xbox is trying so hard to promote Outer Worlds 2 on my Xbox Home. I mean, that's hilarious. They're desperate. They're trying to want they are trying. They're wanting people pay money for this game. I'm not spending $70 or $80 for a weird looking game. I rather spend every cash, every money on Atomic Heart 2. That's what I can say with that one. Keeping it real. Yeah, like Outer Worlds 2, I don't have no interest in the game. It looks really boring. The female characters look like Kamala Harris in 4B
They look
movie.
rough. They look
Yeah.
bad. They look like
Yeah,
Antifa members.
yeah. So I would
I'm
say,
not. I'm not surprised. I'm not.
yeah,
As Nate Diaz would say, I ain't surprised.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Atomic Heart 2, hands down, has better beautiful women characters than Outer Worlds 2. I mean,
Even
that's
the
what I can
robots.
say. Like, and at the end, I can say with Outer Worlds 2, my last final saying is Outer Worlds 2 is going to be like a $20 game at Walmart at the cheap game shelf area. So that's what I can say. Yeah.
It's gonna make very good. It's gonna be very good fuel for the bonfire.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The homeless are gonna love their cheap their cheap bonfire materials.
Yep. Or it could be good for a coaster. You have your cup of coffee.
Oh, that's true. You don't want to
You
mess
know.
up the table with any. You don't want to mess up
Yeah.
anything valuable. So you can use
Right.
that as
Yeah.
a
You know
coaster.
what? It'll be perfect because you can be playing when it does come out. Atomic Heart 2. Have
Yes.
yourself a cup of coffee and then just put the case for Outer Worlds 2.
List.
That you found at the at a fucking with the women's march or some shit somewhere,
Mhm.
and then you just put it on your table and you just use it as a coaster and you enjoy the game from there.
Yeah, listen Slavic music and drinking coffee and playing Atomic Heart 2. Enjoy my time. So
Which
Yep.
Slavic?
that's how I got. Yep.
Which Slavic music is the question? Polish?
Ruski in Serbian.
Ruski musical? Gotcha.
Serbian as well.
Serbian as well. Okay, makes sense. So yeah, I get you. I get what you mean. And What was there? I think other subjects, Revenant, that I'm forgetting. You talked about.
We
I
already
think that
went
might be it.
through.
I'm talking about Apollo.
Oh yeah, because remember he was here earlier. He talked about
I
Saints
talked
Row
about
Reboot and Square Enix.
yeah.
Okay. So you basically that was everything, right? All
Yeah,
right.
it's
So
OC that didn't talk about anything.
yeah, no, I know. I just want to make sure so everyone
Right.
got their
Okay.
fair chance to talk. So OC, go ahead. Start from whichever subject you want, and you can go through the gauntlet. Like I said, just be concise because we're running out of time, and it's already been 3 hours, which I know is not your fault, but you got to keep it going. So
Okay, before I proceed, mic check. Am I good? Am I sound like Optimus Prime?
you're
No,
good. You don't
sound
sound like
perfect.
you're being electrocuted. It doesn't sound like you're near a jet engine. It doesn't sound like the iconic beep is going off. So you're good.
Right. Because the thing is, I have to work with the StreamYard's settings.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
okay, bro.
So
I'm just playing with you. I'm playing with you.
I know. It's all good. Okay. So the thing is, I am, um, you know, not surprised. Let's see, another Saints Row. Let me see what the subjects were about because I like pretty busy all over the place right now. I didn't know there was going to be another Saints Row game. I mentioned in the comments that they should pick a different city like Baltimore or Chicago or what was that other place I was thinking about? Chicago, Baltimore, or Texas, right? Because one of the problems is a lot of these games are too obsessed with three places: New York, LA, and Miami, right? And I was kind of shocked that GTA 6 was going to be in Miami because the that was kind of like already kind of done, but then again, GTA
All of
does.
them were. Yeah, all of
Mhm.
them were. Well, remember,
Ye-
I'm just gonna briefly interrupt, and I'll let you continue. Remember,
Cool.
GTA 3, Liberty City; GTA 4, Liberty City; San Andreas, obviously San Andreas; Los Santos, and GTA 5, Los Santos. So to me, it was logical that they were gonna do Miami because they did the other two. So Vice City is the only one they haven't returned to. So to me, it was logical, but I do agree that they do. Most games do focus on those three cities. Anyway, continue on.
Right. Because right now I'm just kind of one of the things I'm trying to do is trying to figure out a place to move, and one of the places I was doing research was the state of Maryland, and it is known as Mini America. And I went to vacation there once, and I can just definitely say that the further you travel, the scene changes. One moment you could be in a city, moment you could be in like a area with like a bunch of trees and forests and stuff, and there's so much variety. It's such a small state. I'm just thinking like, why wouldn't they pick something like that, or pick somewhere like Texas? Texas. When I went to Texas, I tell you, everything is bigger, like legitimately. Like Texas is one of those states where they live it, and I'm just thinking, why don't they do that? Because one of the I should say one of the other things I was looking up is different kinds of music, and one of my favorite discoveries was UGK, right? And
Okay.
I'm just um, listening to the music again, and I'm just like studying Texas and whatever, and I'm just thinking like, why didn't they pick Texas as well, and or Chicago? Like,
The only game I
I
could think of is
yeah.
the only two games I could think of are like Baltimore was in Maryland was in The Suffering 2, and in Watch Dogs I think it was Chicago, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first one, right? Or was
Yeah,
it the second one?
I know the first one I think, right, but I don't know about the other two.
Right, and all those
Yeah,
crime
Legion did
games and
London,
stuff.
right?
Huh?
Watch Dogs Legion did London, right?
Yeah, I think Watch Dogs Legion was London.
And I believe, yeah, I think the first one was in Chicago. The
Yeah,
second one, I don't remember where it was, so I'm not sure.
yeah.
Right. And I recall somebody was talking about mass firings from one of those gaming companies that was working with a Japanese company was working with
Square Enix.
Western companies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that is more of a AI slot production because it's like you have the most insufferable set of people being hired. And I think this is like a grand design where they send in the most incompetent people to justify the implementation of AI, because AI is one of those things that have been around before, right? This is what I tell people about technology. The first set of people, when it comes to game changing technology, the first set of people that's going to get their hands on it is the super rich, because they can finance it, the military, because they want something to improve their combat effectiveness, and the other people, the last set, is intelligence. Those people are going to get AI. So AI has been around before all this explosion
Oh
showed
yeah,
up.
for sure. It's been around for quite a while now. I remember there was like rumors and people talking about it like way back, even before like I want to say like maybe like 2016. I heard like it's starting to be talked about, like the early
Right.
stages of it, where they were using it for algorithms and shit. Like Aladdin, basically Aladdin is essentially like a very primitive like algorithmic AI. They were just
Mm,
used more as like basic algorithms, but they pretty much were AI.
right. And the thing is like before the public knows about these things, they already in the private sector have that stuff in planned, and that's why they have NDAs and say, okay, listen, you're going to see some game changing stuff. They're going to tell the IT people, you're going to see some game changing stuff. Sign this paper. Don't say anything about what you see. They already had this plan in motion. So they can't just put AI without an argument. And then all of a sudden, everybody is hiring these idiots, and these idiots get fired. And guess what happens? All of a sudden, AI is everywhere, and now we're going to get a bunch of slop. And my thing was with AI, I thought it was going to just be one of those things where it's like a cybernetic thing where man and machine were going to work together to make it easier for humanity to make content. And now the kind of the opposite was happening. That's happening now, where these bums are just using AI and AI alone, and
To
it's
oversaturate
disgusting. It's disgusting.
the market. To oversaturate
Yes,
the market. That's what I was saying for. That's what I've been saying
it's
for all this
gross.
time. That people
Yeah,
are going to use AI, post a bunch of shit all over these like things like gaming forums, YouTube videos. It's going to oversaturate. The real shit will get drowned out by the chaff, and it'll be hard to like find anything that's quality, or at least it'll be harder for indie developers or indie creators to get their shit out there. That was like the
I want to
inevitability of it.
I want to add to what OC was saying. It actually is like correct because there was also a report that Square Enix, I think they said by 2027 they want to have like the vision set up for AI. Where they have a specific one where I think they even have recently like made one like a studio of some sort where they're like looking into having certain fields be ran by AI to I think
Yes.
allegedly like horse bullshit, but
Well, think
like
about
tool
it.
development and things like that.
Yeah, because it's
So
easier and they can
mhm.
automate those jobs. And remember, AI should help you do your taxes so you can play your games. I mean, so you can make your games. AI shouldn't make your games so you could do more taxes, bro. And also remember
hmm
that in the end of the day, the situation is that don't be the fear of AI is not the fact only that not only the fact that they'll replace people that in these fields, it's also the fact that what are they going to do with those people when they no longer serve a purpose to them? Because in the end of the day, all these jobs that people perform serve a purpose for greater society. And as we know, shit isn't free in this world, bro. And if AI can do everything that you can do and you're relying on the government, what is going to happen to those people? What's going to happen to those
uh,
people that can't work? That's the scary part.
right. That's the weird thing. That's the idiotic thing too, because
What do you
you,
do with the
mhm.
60-year-old? What do you do with the 60-year-old woman who has no chance of really learning coding and shit like that? What are you gonna do with that woman? What are you gonna do with like these people in these fields, man? Like that's why like people don't understand that like this shit is not a benevolence. Society is not necessarily benevolent, right? You serve a purpose. If you can, example being, the system is in place to rig is rigged in its place so that if you work or if you do whatever, or if you don't work, you face some consequence to it, right? Like if you can't pay your bills and you owe a bunch of money, what happens? You go to jail, right? So
uh, Yeah, pretty much, or they garnish your wages or some
But
kind of.
if you have no wages and they're very outstanding, they can justify like imprisoning you, right?
Right,
So
yeah,
so you're at the
yeah.
mercy of that system. So at the end of the day, it's not benevolent, right? You either give them money or give them some kind of production as a person in society, or you're screwed. If you're not producing anything because AI is doing everything, what are they going to do with you? You know,
That's
that's
the
the end of
weird
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Go,
So I'm
go
sorry.
on.
Go ahead, continue. That was it. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and a word of advice, a heads up to anybody that's thinking about investing in AI, which sounded like a good idea at first. I suggest not to do any sort of investment with AI because here's the problem: we have data centers that is um, jacking up the prices for average people's utility bills because AI data centers are taking up that much energy. That's one. Number two, the thing about these data centers is the fact that um, there is the threat of mass coronal ejection. So if there is a super flare that comes from space, it's happened before, because like for example, back in um, the in Somalia, over in Somalia some years ago, like SEAL Team 6 was trying to get some pirates over at Somalia, and then there was a solar flare that affected their communication gear, and this stuff is real. So the thing is that if a super flare hits Earth and disrupts the grid, it doesn't even have to affect the data centers. If anything like that happens, AI is we're going to have to go to a reverse course. They're going to have to bring people back. And here's the other problem: the government shut down. People think this government shutdown is just like, oh, some people are not going to work or not going to get paid. This is beyond that because it's going to reach, if it reaches a certain point, they don't do anything about this. There is going to be so many programs that are not going to come back. And a lot of these government institutions invested in AI. They gave the money to the people that make these AI programs. And then all of a sudden, the AIs can't be utilized because these programs are shut down, right? So it's like a trickle down effect. And right now, that could be part of not the complete, AI bubble, but it might happen. And that's the other problem, too. You got the AI bubble threat. So, in a way, it's kind of a waiting game for us people that just want to use original stuff because I'm going to be honest, as interesting as AI seems, I try to work with it and I said I can't work with this, because it was just like, okay, I type down whatever. I have very unique and strange looking characters and I put the information down and it just doesn't work. And so my thing is, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to fire up my computer, tablet, and just get to work. Just keep it original. Just keep it classic, you know? And so I think what we as content creators have to do is just keep doing what we need to do because AI may seem like it's all powerful and stuff, but it's going to reach to a point where it it's going to hurt. It's going to get hurt. It's going to hurt itself. Yeah. So
Right. No, I agree. But
now
with
now the other thing about gaming, right? So like for example, I'm not sure if anybody watches Donkey's reviews, right? There's this guy called
Donkey?
Donkey.
You mean
Yeah.
donkey video? You mean donkey?
Yeah, the video reviews. Donkey video reviews, the guy that does these like kind of comedy weird reviews of games, right?
Didn't he
And
say
he
some dumb
reads
shit, Revenant, though? That's what I remember. 'Cause
something
I used to
about
watch.
Last of Us 2,
Yeah, like,
but
I used to
apparently
watch
he
him though.
retracted that or
Okay.
changed his
oh
mind or whatever. So
Okay. Cool.
oh yeah, I haven't caught up too much on these content creators because it's kind of like a double life because you subscribe to them, you laugh at their videos, and then all of a sudden they say something on Twitter and you don't even really check the Twitter. So
yeah,
but like it doesn't matter like what you think about him. I can agree that that new Zelda game on the Switch is kind of embarrassing because it was calling the game of 1,000 grunts, and it's like all these characters when they to doing certain things is like a grunt almost every second. You know, it's like they see something, or they're picking up something, like they're exercising or something. Like, okay, this is awkward. And the other thing is like my here's the other thing that makes it weird. So in the development of the first or second Zelda game, this is how
Hold
they
on,
were
hold on,
trying to
hold
do it.
Well, like, let's try to stay on subject. You were because we have limited time, bro. Like,
Oh, yeah. But I'm just gonna make this quick.
you were talking about Square Enix, though, right? Square Enix.
Yeah. I just want that was the end of the Square Enix thing, but I'm just gonna make this quick. The original title, pre-title, was supposed to be Hyrule Adventures, right? Legend of Zelda, whatever, right? That's how it's supposed to be. Now they could have done that and came back with it. And you know what's the weird thing is? This game is focused on Zelda, but they did not call it The Legend of Zelda. Isn't that funny? Like the first game, one of the first games you play as Zelda. This is the third game you play as Zelda, right? And they call it Hyrule Warriors. They could have called it Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors, right? A game that's like centered on Zelda. The third game. There was the CDI one. There was that recent one on the Switch, and now you have this new one. And they don't call it Legend of Zelda. They call it Legend of Zelda with Link. I'm sorry, Nintendo. You fumbled the bag, and they fumbled the bag also with Pal World and a lawsuit as well. Now, I can't really see the title because the thing is, I'm using a cell phone, and right now,
Zelda. The thing about Zelda is that they probably just don't want to confuse the branding of it. They just want to have it as like a side game, which makes sense because if you can't, because from the Hyrule Warrior games, you get to play as like a shit ton of different characters, not necessarily focused on her. So maybe they just want to keep it separate so that they don't, confuse the brand. So people know when they buy Legend of Zelda, they're getting more of a traditional Link Zelda game versus the other ones. But Revenant's gonna give you the rest of the subjects, and let's try to shoot through them because, like I said, we got to get through this.
Yeah. So there's Assassin's Creed Shadows that failed as far as sales goes. It did poorly compared to since they started with the RPG games as Origins, so it's the least selling out of those, and also had like the highest budget out of those games, and also the highest like as far as like marketing. So yeah. And then the last topic is Outer Worlds 2. Not doing well as far as people. Not a lot of people are playing it, nor are they really talking about it. And obviously, it's not selling too well as expected. So,
Yeah. Okay, so Assassin's Creed. Yeah, that game was not going to work out. It was too much bad press. People are tired of these, attempts of subverting expectation. The subversion of expectation has become the expectation.
mhm.
And the other problem is that we have this issue of a game that is kind of losing its relevance. Its relevance, right? So it's like, oh, okay, so we're gonna bring back a new Assassin's Creed game instead of making something different, or bringing something like Rayman or something, investing in another property that has been relevant for that has not been looked at for a while. It's like Capcom not touching Mega Man. It's like
Right.
It's something that they thought it was going to work out. They overinvested. They didn't play it smart, and they just fumbled. And so the Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, I was expecting it to.
That's why they always look at that.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like Hattori Hanzo. I'm not sure if you anybody's familiar with the Japanese ninja drama, Hattori Hanzo, and it was like Sonny Chiba. Yeah, Sonny Chiba is like, it was in the 80s, and it's a really cool show because I have the collection on DVD, and it's a good show to watch. And you expected it to be something like that, right? Hattori Hanzo, or some kind of known shinobi figure that was going to be in the show, in the game, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, migrant and a chick. And yeah, so of course that was going to happen. Video games are getting too expensive in this world where you can get laid off in a
Yeah.
heartbeat. So which one is it? Are you going to pay for a $60 video game, or are you going to try and keep the lights on at home? And so it's just like these people just think that the gamers are going to constantly look for something to risk so much money on, and it's too overinflated to play those games. And the other problem is like that Outer World game. I didn't really do too much looking into it. I just saw thumbnails here and there. It's awful, terrible, all this kind of stuff. And it's just like meh. Um like I said, I didn't really look into it, and I don't really care. I just feel
I
like
don't
it's
blame
just
you.
one of those other games.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not missing much with that. So the first one
Yeah.
wasn't anything spectacular by any means. It was forgotten about like months after it came out anyway. I mean, it was
Mhm.
decent with certain areas based on what I played of it. I mean, I finished the
Right.
game, but with the second one,
Yeah.
it looked like it was just gonna be, the typical shit, that we've seen before. So it doing
Mhm.
terribly is not really surprising, and the social media is, of course, pulling a Saints Row reboot with has like some shit where hold on, has like the mascot looking thing. I don't know what the fuck you call it, but it said looking at my haters or something like that, or counting my money while I look at my haters, and it's like the game's not doing well. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, just denial, and just
Yeah, that's what it is.
not accepting the fact that they fumbled the bag, they
Mhm.
mess up. And so like I said, it's just one of those things where I'm just like roll my eyes and laugh. Yeah,
Mhm.
so in terms of gaming right now, if anybody's going to get involved in making a game, just either do single, like, indie game, develop one, or just double A. That's the highest I'm gonna do. Double
Mhm.
A. And anything like collabs in terms of these big companies, nah. Because here's the problem with collabs. Um, let's say, if I was going to work with a game that, or something similar to mine's, right? Let's say, um, I decided to make Octavia Camacho, and there's like a collab with Call of Duty, right? Because they're similar, because it's like military shooter, whatever. And the problem is that the DLC. I hate the idea that DLC is like this limited thing, trying to get people to rush, and a cash grab nonsense. And I just feel like it's not going to work, because once it's gone, it's gone. And it's I would never. I just feel disappointed, but I'm just never going to do that. And like I said, when it comes to games right now, it's way too expensive. Um, Systems like the Switch 2 and all these other things, they got like PlayStation, PS5, and Switch 2 literally have no games now. Just no games. Even the guy that used to run Nintendo, Bowser, he even said, "Hey, if you're gonna make games, put it on the Switch. Make it for the Switch." And it's just like, this is sad. But aside from that, yeah, I understand you guys got things to do, and we're gonna cut it short. So aside from that, I'm guessing that's pretty much it for my part. And yeah, so
All
I'm
right.
gonna let
So
Yeah, it was great.
Apollo
Yeah.
so hold
take.
on. No, no. Do your
Mhm.
outro now since you're already talking, and then Apollo will go after.
Gotcha. Okay, so I am OC Octo Commander, the creator of the War Street universe. Get it right, Google. And so I make online comics. Two of them. One is more like a story visual novel. The other one is like a comic series. It's going to slow down a little bit because I got a lot of other things going on. Um,
Right.
But aside from that, I first game is still on Steam. I'm gonna try to find the time to do the second one if I can. But aside from that, I'm also thinking about trying to do a interview show with people that are indie comic or video game devs. I'm thinking about trying to do that with the Twitter spaces thing, just ask how they make these things or like what they're thinking about and whatever. And but aside from that, I'm gonna have to find whoever, but aside from that, that's what I am. That's my outro. And Jimpachi and Revenant, thank you for letting me on the show again. And you all have a good day, night, and y'all be good.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming
All
on
right,
again,
man.
OC.
Same
You
to
take it
you.
easy as well.
Take it easy. Have a good night or good day. Well, good night, I'm sure. And yeah, man, it's been cool. We're always glad to have you. So,
Now, Paulo, it's you can give your
This
outro.
is Paulo Patriot. I am officially full on Rumble. I'm Apollo_Patriot. You can easily find me on the Rumble search. YouTube crapped me over, deleted me off the planet. I mean, that's not gonna drag me down or anything. I'm gonna keep doing more content on Rumble. You'll see all of my old videos all the way on the videos I have on my selections. But yeah, I might be doing live streams tomorrow for Fallout 4. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
oh yeah, big
all right,
time
man.
update for Fallout 4. But yeah,
Sounds cool.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it
Sounds
does.
great.
it was pretty
All
cool.
right. So anybody on Rumble, check out Apollo, and yeah, have a
Yeah,
good one,
check him
man.
out on Rumble.
Too mad.
All right.
Yeah,
So
take it easy, Apollo.
for sure, bro. Take it easy. So as for me, I'm Jinpachi. You all know me. I do animation, a lot of Arkham content. I'm also working on a game now, so you guys can check me out on my YouTube channel. Maybe you'll see something that you like. If not, it's fine too. I appreciate it either way. Um, and yeah, thanks for co-hosting with me, Revenant. It's always awesome.
Yep.
And yeah, it was a fun time. Glad we had everyone on. Everyone got to talk a bit and give their opinions, which is pretty fun and interesting. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good night. And like I said, check out my content, and if you like it, subscribe. If not, it's cool too. But all right, so thanks for everything and peace.
All right then. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been good. Appreciate you, of course, co-hosting as usual. Appreciate the people who were on the panel today. Appreciate it, and everyone who watched time out of your day to listen, even if you're listening on the replay. Appreciate it as always. As far as a new video, maybe this week. I don't know. We'll see. I still got to work on it. So maybe the week after. But yeah, just keep a lookout for it regardless. And I think this game OC was mentioning, maybe it's called Hyrule Princess or something. I think I seen the advertisement for it. I think that's the name of it. Because the
Yeah,
Hyrule
something like
Warriors, I
that.
think, is the Dynasty Warriors style one.
It
I
is. It's
think.
like a Dynasty Warriors one, and then there's the other one that you actually do play as Zelda. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
more focused on her.
yeah.
So yeah.
So I mean, I don't blame it. The names are kind of low.
It's just it's kind of ironic. It's like you said, which is true. It's like what he's
Yeah, it
getting at. It's like it's irony because like they don't want to call it Legend of Zelda so that they make sure that they don't confuse the brand.
right.
Because when people buy Legend of Zelda, they think playing Link.
Mhm.
But ironically, you're actually playing Zelda. It's her adventure, so the name Legend of Zelda would be more appropriate, for that game.
That's true. Yeah,
It's just one of those weird
but
things, but yeah.
yeah. So anyway, again, thank you all for watching, listening, commenting. It's appreciated. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. And if I don't catch you in a new next in another video during the week, have a good week. And until then, peace out. See ya.